Welcome back to this week's episode of Voyages of the Defiance. Last week, we just did some stuff in the city, basically as a good summary of that session. We are not yet done with that rest. We are in fact only 3 days in. And we of course have Georg Wallace, first mate of the Defiance, back with us. So we're going to kind of zoom back time. And we got you, Aaron. So you have had 3 days in the city. And we're going to get you caught up with the rest of the party. If you don't want to do much, that's fine if you just want to start grinding on a long rest, but is there anything you want to get done while you're in civilization?
Alcoholism.
I would like to work on that, yes, but also,
Equipment you
What,
want to
you're
buy.
training it? Are you honing your skills in it?
yes, the more alcohol I
Let
can
him
consume,
cook, god damn it.
I need to get,
Let him brew.
I must, anyways, granting out a long rest? Wait, am I allowed to do a short rest at the moment, or like?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, short rest, please.
Okay. Alrighty. So there's nothing you want to do in the city for those 3 days?
Not particularly, no.
Alrighty, that is perfectly fine.
Dad.
So, then we're gonna...
brew.
That was quick though. Now we're boom back in the present. 1 minute. That's Aaron right there. Efficiency. And
yeah.
we're gonna pick up with the rest of the crew. We are 3 days. Well, yeah, we're on the 3rd day of our long rest here. We got 4 days left. And Rudol has stumbled into the cabin and got some sleep after being incredibly exhausted. And for the rest of the crew, another day has begun. So we're going to be a bit more fluid with the time now, since it's not super important to track it day by day. There's 4 days remaining in the long rest. And at probably the probably 5 days into the long rest, Kaheen. You've been going back to that Alceranian shop the last couple of days. It's one of the only places in town that feels even remotely homely, and you can always talk to the shopkeeper and hear familiar stories. And as you are exiting this Alceranian shop one day, you see a familiar group of men. They are members of the Defiance crew. There are 3 of them. Gage Walling, Miles Scott, and Gert DeWall, 3 of the forecastle men who handle the cannons. They have these little wooden symbols attached to strings around their neck that depict a sun. And one of them in particular, Gert DeWall, he approaches you. He seems to have been looking for you, and he says, "Quartermaster Kaheen."
Yes?
Could I perhaps speak to you for a couple of moments?
Well, sure. And I'll, pull aside a chair so that you can sit with me.
Yeah, the other 2 remain sort of standing there a bit nervously, and Gert DeWall says, "As you know, we're going to cross the Hammer's Fall soon.
Yes.
It's dangerous, especially for a ship like ours, not really designed for open ocean travel. No, we're supposed to stay within sight of the coast. And, well, we wanted some divine blessings, some supernatural things on our side to make sure we make it across safely. And there's this priest, a Aurelian soul, who was going up and down the docks, and, we gave him a listen. And he gave us blessings, of course, but said that if our ship really wanted to be, right and properly blessed, that our navigator should come and speak to him, gain the blessing of the Almighty."
Sure. I'll speak with him.
All right.
I appreciate your concern for our safety.
I've crossed the Hammer's Fall twice before, and the second time a storm damn near sunk the vessel I was on. I'd rather, a nice, clear summer crossing.
Of course. I'll start walking there with him, but I want to talk to him while we're doing that.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk to all of them. So, you're all from the city-state, yes?
2 of them nod. Gert shakes his head.
Oh. Where were you raised?
Red Ridge, in the Delian colonies.
Oh. Oh, well, either way then, none of you are Mythosian.
Well, yeah, it's not about that. if there was a shrine to, I don't know, the Jade Lady here, I'd be asking them for blessings too. Get as many as you can. Stack them up.
Very well. In that case, I would share with you that in my faith back in the desert, I was trained as a navigator, as you know, but this was not only an occupational title; it had religious implications as well, as we worshipped the very stars that I navigate by, and I have gotten their blessing, which gives me confidence that we shall be able to cross safely.
Do they hand out blessings to others? Perhaps we could get the captain to anoint the ship with, I don't know, do you have sort of any holy stuffs?
That is interesting. Alex, I hadn't considered this. Or do they do anything to bless caravans? I mean, obviously there's no tradition for ships.
Yes, for caravans, they do a massive, essentially, cover everything as that can be in incense, and then they speak basically the journeys of past successful caravans, some of these stories being very long and passed down through oral tradition.
Okay, and I would know some of those?
You know one. Typically that would be held by historians of the Neftarans, who are like oral sort of focuses on the oral tradition. You only know a couple from osmosis.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how much is enough incense to do that with the ship?
A lot, yeah. Let me check the weight of incense by pound in Doja. The price is a little bit higher than other places because of how much they use it.
Bureaucracy.
Also that.
Economy of scale won't make it cheaper?
They don't have economy of scale because, like many goods, Al Sarah has a bit of a... is one of the primary producers of it. Not the only, it's just the biggest producer of it.
Yeah, okay.
It will cost... I can find one of the things, but I can't find the other thing I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. Block of incense. It will cost 1 gold for 1 pound. And for your ship to do it properly, you probably want about 3 pounds.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, they'll billow and smoke a lot.
$3,000.
Yeah, it's a whole ass ship.
Yeah, I'll say to the men, there is a tradition, although it uses, well, it can be a little expensive. I've considered, going through it, but, you know, I don't want to undercut all of your paychecks just for my own faith, but if it's
Gert
popular
shrugs.
with the crew, it seems... Well,
I don't care how much it costs.
Alright, I will, speak to the captain about it and, maybe the bosun and see if it would be a popular idea, because I'd be more than happy to carry it out.
Yeah, and he sort of leans in closer. He's like a... Gert is in his late 20s, you know, he seems to be... You've never had a negative interaction with him, and he sort of leans in close and says, and I mean, it doesn't matter too much. Once we cross the Hammersfall, we're going to be requisitioning some goods from other ships, right? That's what I've heard. So we'll make up for any budget falls we have.
Yeah, I kind of deep breath in. Yes, that is the captain's plan, it seems like.
Well, then I say we got nothing to worry about.
Alright, then we should, I'll look into it.
Thank you. And at around this time, you've walked down to the docks, and along the docks, there is a small little shrine. Sort of like the Pantheon, where it's like a small domed structure, though it's a bit smaller than the Pantheon. It's about, 20 feet deep, 20 feet wide, with a circular dome atop, and in the center of this little shrine is a burning fire. And at the center of the fire is a statue of a man. The man is incredibly muscular. He has his arms sort of like stretched around him, and atop his head he holds a secondary brazier, which is also burning with this sort of yellowish orangish fire. Not quite like normal fire though; it's like tinted somehow a little bit more yellow than usual. And a couple people are in here. Some of them toss things into the fire. Other ones just sit there with their heads low. And amongst all this busy traffic is an older man with faintly glowing golden eyes.
I will approach him.
Yeah, the other three who sort of followed you up to here will remain outside the shrine. And the man had just been talking to a woman. She looks a little bit stressed out, but he'll sort of pat her on the shoulder, and when he sees you, he'll walk over.
I'm waiting for him to talk first.
Yeah, he'll look at you, up and down. When you don't speak, he seems to remain in the silence for a little bit and says, in common, "It's uncommon to see your people of the desert around here. What has brought you so far from home?"
I travel on ships now. Trade.
Yes, but what brought you here?
I'm going to be navigating a ship across the Hammersfall for the first time, and I heard that you may be able to bless our vessel.
Money is just a means to an end. This trade you practiced in, just a way to line your pockets. What is the end that you wish to achieve?
I search for community. My people in the desert are no more, and I hoped to find a new group that I could travel with and call home.
I have heard good things of your people of the desert. I hear they have a sun god of their own, and even if they give him the wrong name, they recognize his power.
Yes, they do.
You say you ask for a blessing. As you know, I can only be the intermediary. It is he who must give it to you. And he points towards the statue between the two braziers.
Yeah.
Do you know of him? Have they spoken his name where you are from?
Alex, that's a good question. I would wager... I've been to Mythdosia once before, so
Yeah.
I don't think you could really get through Mythdosia without ever hearing about the guy, but,
Yeah,
out
certainly.
of game, I don't know his name.
Yeah, I roll a religion check. We'll see if Kaheen
Yeah.
has picked up on it during her last trip through.
Religion. +1.
Yeah,
Oh!
he has several names. However, the one that this guy will probably most like is the Almighty.
Yeah. Okay. Why, the Almighty, of course.
He looks over and he's like, it's like when you give the right answer to a professor in class and he just seems happy
Yeah.
that you were listening and he gives a slight smile and says, "That's right. The Almighty, the divine spark, champion of mankind. So, you wish for a blessing. What blessing exactly? Safe passage?"
Safe passage for me and my crew.
And what do you offer him?
Ooh. Let me think about this. Alex, as part of my religion check, do I know what normal things to offer this guy would be?
The default would be subservience and worship. But since you are not a follower of Aurelian Soul, I don't know if you would exactly know.
Yeah. I guess I'll just say that then. I do not know. I do not know what he takes a liking to.
Well, the Almighty loves all of his children, regardless of their faith. All men who walk this earth. I believe that perhaps an open mind would suffice. Stop by during sermon. Keep your ears open. See what others gain from his worship.
I would be happy to do that.
Well, then when dusk comes, we will have our evening services. We will be speaking tonight of Peladon Elfsbane. I believe you have his legend even on your continent.
Yes. I've heard it.
A legendary
I
hero.
loved it. Yes.
Needed these days as well.
Is that right?
He gives a somber nod.
Well, then I will see you at the service.
He gives a nod. and he, sort of makes his way over towards someone else who is has a prayer written on a slip, which they deposit into the flames, and he begins to chat with them. And as you return to the three men who are standing outside, Gert sort of has a waiting expression on his face. So, are you blessed?
Not yet, but I'm going to go to a service tonight, and it seems that I've built a relationship with the priest.
All right. Do you have a silver on you, by the way?
I do not.
Could we get one from the ship coffers? Miles saw a fortune teller. We want to make sure that our crossing is going to be safe.
I don't think the ship has any silvers. I need to check the ship sheet, but I think we only have gold.
We don't. Or we have gold only. I tried to get us
Yeah.
to break some down, and you all said
The
no.
money changer incident.
The money
Yeah.
changers. Oh wait, no, I think they're based now. Never mind.
Wait, you think they're based now?
We'll unpack that later. Anyways.
Okay. You know what? I will. I'll say. I can trust you. Yes.
I mean, I certainly think so.
I'm gonna hand him a gold. And I'm gonna tell, and I'll say, say, change this into silver and electrum. Spend the one you need. Bring me back the rest.
All right. He looks over. Gage, you're better at the math things. Let's go see what the money changer will give us, and the three of them will begin to walk away.
Yeah, and I just should be able to do the math and know exactly if they scam it to me or not.
Yeah, correct. So they're going to be spending a silver, and they're going to split that coin right down the middle. So it'll be 350 converted to silver, so it'll be 16 silver coins coming back to you. Then, well, it doesn't split evenly, so it'd be 4 electrum and 14 silver would be added
Okay,
to.
and they actually do that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
These three are on a mission, okay? They're trying to get as
Yeah.
many blessings loaded up on this ship as possible.
Yeah, no, I like actually love this. I think it's awesome.
Unfortunately, there are not any temples to anyone other than the Almighty in the city, so their options are severely limited.
Yeah. Well, I heard we have a demon worshiper on the ship that can make give us a blessing.
Yeah, hag magic.
Uh-oh.
They
Okay.
want to get a hag blessing.
Cool. Then you go back about your business. You got a whole day ahead of you.
Yeah.
Adrian Svensson.
Oh
At
god.
about 10 in the morning, what are you up to?
Oh, what day is this? This is like the 4th day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'd have already done most of the stuff I need to do. I'd probably be shopping to touch up on my brewer's supplies, just like, getting some more yeast or whatever it is that you need to make alcohol.
We're out here yeasting.
Yeah,
personal
here,
personal
yeast.
shopping.
Yeah, you are walking out of the brewer's shop with a couple additional iron bands to reinforce your barrels, a tiny little keg so you can do a micro brew. And you notice,
Oh,
standing on a
that's
street, a very familiar face. Democritus has a longer white beard than usual, almost like a disguise kit or something that he used to make himself look older. And he's standing atop a box, and he is playing an instrument you've never seen him touch before. He's playing a lyre, and he's sort of just plucking at the strings a bit arrhythmically, and most people are ignoring him.
I'll walk up to him.
He glances over, sort of lifts up the brim of his floppy hat.
Not much luck.
Oh no, it's going wonderfully, Captain. I'm doing field research.
Into.
Well, into Mythosian's cultural tastes, of course. This little jig that I'm playing here, Athnuin storytellers would weep upon hearing its play if it would remind them of the fall of Bavlata. These Mythosians, it means nothing.
I wonder why. I've heard people respond well to the drums. Have you tried those?
He has a dark look come over his face. No.
Okay.
But
Get
I
him
do
over
have
here,
good
bud.
news for you, Captain. I've been gathering
Yeah.
tales from various performers here on the docks, and they have a sailor story I've never heard before. The night before we set out, I'm going to perform it for the crew.
What is it?
It's called The Wind Sail and the Living Gale.
Have I heard that before, Alex?
No.
Really? No.
No, definitely not. You spend more times raiding and killing Mythosians than hearing their sailor stories.
I suppose it is a Mythosian sailor story. I didn't know if like sailor stories would be sort of universal throughout. the
Some of
world.
them are, this one is not.
Okay, what's it about?
Well, it's about a wind sail and a living gale.
Does it end well for the ship involved?
It's a sailor's story, what do you think?
Alex, I'm gonna assume yes.
No. No, most of them
Oh,
are horrible, like, tales of
Oh, okay,
how a
alright.
ship was destroyed and how you shouldn't do that.
And this is normal for sailors.
Yeah, they're always, like,
So,
cautionary
okay.
tales, you know, like, they were being stupid. They tried to go through this dangerous gap and a sea monster ate them. They tried to board, you know, a typhoon and all the crew got swept away. This is just how they are.
Okay,
to cross
so
the
it's
Hammer's
not
Fall.
right. Alex, real question. I feel like this doesn't work, but why does every ship not just set sail immediately after a storm? Because, like, what are the odds of them happening that close into it?
Well, because the storms that go through the Hammer's Fall never reach the coastline of Mythnosia.
So you would never know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Now
sometimes you don't want to wait around for a storm.
Yeah, also, they do try to predict this. There are massive charts
suppose.
in cities like Flamium or Ravinium and over on the west side in, like, Redberg, where they've recorded every storm for the last, 100 years, and they try to use that data to predict future ones. They're just not good at it.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, because they don't understand, atmosphere.
That would do it, wouldn't it?
Or anything, really.
I suppose even if you did understand that, don't you have, like, an entire chunk of the world that's
Yeah, I
missing?
mean, even nowadays, like, we have a hard time predicting the direction hurricanes
Yeah.
will travel, so predicting the frequency
Not
of
to dunk
storms
on
and-
meteorologists,
Yeah.
but even,
like,
even
they
with
suck.
like modern computation, it's still really fucking hard.
Yeah.
That was... I had an actual thing I wanted to do after this.
Sure.
Fuck. Shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't remember.
That's
Yeah, I
fine.
know.
Yeah, so Democritus
Yeah.
announces his performance. He'll be spreading that rumor around the crew for the rest of the week. And I think we can return to Kaheen the evening of the fourth day. You've been busying yourself across the city. And this evening, you notice that Gert DeWall has come along with a couple other crew members as well to go to the dusk service. And they are also dripped the fuck out. One of them, Gert
What,
himself...
just like different holy symbols?
Correct, yes. Gert has gotten a tattoo on the back of his hand that resembles a hermetic symbol used by some very esoteric worshippers in the far, far west. You don't know much about them, it's just that they worship weird gods long forgotten, and they use these alchemical signs to mark their worship of their gods. There is, of course, the...
like Cavaran?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like the pre-Platonic religions, or like?
No, it is a new age kind of esoteric religion that's popped up in the last couple years in Cavaranth.
And somehow it's already in Mythdosia?
The religion has barely any practitioners, period. There's probably one in the city where he found a book or something. It looks pretty badly... The tattoo looks
Okay.
pretty badly done as well, so probably self-inflicted.
Cool.
He
Okay,
has
awesome.
two different sun holy symbols around his neck. One is which like slightly stylized and squiggly, probably Reshep's. The other one is a bit more straight edged, probably the Mythosian sun. He has
Okay.
like a little Jade Lady spear holy symbol around his neck, and a little blue war paint underneath his cheeks, which you don't even know what culture
These
that
guys
comes
are
from.
stressing.
These guys rule.
Gert seems to have taken the most for the team. The rest of them just have like little chotskis.
Okay.
And making your way to the Shrine of Enduring Flame,
Wait, as we're on the way there,
Yeah.
Or do we all go together, or do I just leave them there?
Yeah, dusk comes and you guys all exit the Defiance, begin to make your way to the shrine.
Is there anything that I could give them? Because, I mean, I'm not, like, a cleric of my religion, but I do have, magical powers because I was blessed by my faith. So, like, I have some kind of, like...
Most of your stuff about, like, setting off a voyage has to do with, like, waiting for certain star signs to show up, predicting, like, what the storms are going to be like, the sandstorms, based on the position of the stars. It's going to be telling the stories of, like, these very long, sort of oracular
Well, I don't have
accounts.
any, like, things I can bless Gert with, because Gert just seems like he, like...
Yeah, you don't have any physical things to, like, smear on him. The best you could give is, like, hey, I could give you a 8-hour-long recitement of the epic of blah, 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 of his successful caravan travel.
Yeah, sure. I'll do one of those later.
Okay.
Then we can just go to service.
Yeah, you guys head into this small shrine. There is no, like, seating area. It's just a singular circle shrine with this, like, beautiful sculpture in the middle. And there are about 20 people. It's nothing too crazy, plus the 4 of you. And you guys sort of fill into the edge of the shrine. The fire on the lower level keeps the entire area warm, and the father, who was wearing sort of yellowish robes before, is now sort of like bundled up in some warm clothing. His eyes, their faint golden glow is a lot more visible at night. Definitely a cleric, though probably the weakest one ever. Maybe a paladin too, but either way. He's just been talking at sort of a low voice, and as you enter, you sort of catch part way through. For many of us, the road of life is a difficult one, but the path is always there for us, for redemption, no matter how many times we may fall. The good news is that no matter how curved your path, no matter how difficult your challenges, you can always find your way back to the path of righteousness. Some days are harder than others. Some days you will wish to give up. But you must at least try. For when the walls come tumbling down, and fire consumes all that there is, the only thing you will have at your heart is faith. In times like these, where darkness pushes in, you must keep in mind that light will always overtake the darkness. For he watches over us, the Almighty, Savior of man. And with his sort of intro, he begins to speak about Saint Pelinal Elfsbane. And the story of the saint is universally known by almost every human alive. It is told to babies in their crib, it's in Cavaranth, all the way to the colonies. The legendary hero man-king who slaughtered elves by the droves, and though he was ultimately killed, made the elves frightened. Here in Mythdosia, he is one of their 4 great saints, one of their heralds who delivered mankind from the oppression of the elves, and eventually would reveal Aurelian's soul, the human god, to his people. The other relevance of Pelinal, specifically in these times, is that Mythdosia is having a rough go of it. The plague is spreading. Undead hordes march from the Deadwood northward, and there is a big hope for military victory, and Pelinal represents essentially that. And so as this father sort of continues onward, he speaks of specific tales of battles that Pelinal won and how those will soon be viewing themselves in the world again. You know, you'll have another battle like this where Mythdosia is victorious over the forces of evil. And the sermon ends not so much with a bang, just sort of with a final reminder that no matter how dark things may seem, the Almighty conquers all. And then people will mostly begin to exit.
Can I ask a question about just like if there's something I could discern in the sermon?
Yeah.
You said that Pelinal revealed Aurelian's soul to the people.
Yeah.
Is that like as a title that is passed down? Or is it the same guy?
Kind of. It's complicated. Basically, Pelinal didn't actually reveal who Aurelian's soul was. He was one of 4 people who began that. He was the first one, the oldest of the 4 heralds, but he himself never revealed who Aurelian's soul was.
Okay, so when did I guess this is more history that I guess I just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Alright, never mind then. Cool. Then yeah, as people shuffle out, I'll like walk back up to the priest or father or whatever you call him.
Yeah, he's just sort of next to the flames, kind of warming up. He's old. He's an old motherfucker. And as you approach, he looks over and says, "So, did you come with open ears?"
Yes. I liked your sermon.
I think I was more so saying it for myself than for them.
It seems that challenges against the Empire are really weighing on you.
Yes. But I made you a promise, so let's get that blessings of yours sorted. Do you wish to carry a physical object, or is the promise of his blessing enough for you?
The promise would be sufficient, but I would take an object if it's of no significant cost to you.
He nods, and he makes his way over towards one of the edges of the shrines. Here there are essentially everything he needs, several stone cabinets, one of which he opens. He withdraws a small blank slip. He withdraws an ink pen and a wooden sun with a string sort of looped through it. He will hand the wooden sun with the string looped through it to you, and he will hand over the slip and the already wet ink pen.
Okay.
On that
so I can write on it then?
Yes, write your prayer and your request.
Yeah, I'll
Write
just
it
write
in-
that I Sorry.
Write it in your native tongue, where the Almighty understands all languages of men.
Yeah, I will in Neftaran. I will write Almighty Aurelian Soul, please bless us with safe passage across the Hammer's Fall, and deliver us to the west.
Alrighty. After you've written it, the priest will sort of shake it off and blow on it so it dries a bit. And then he will go over and get a little step ladder, because this is not to be deposited in the lower brazier, it's to be deposited in the upper brazier, above the head of Aurelian Soul. And he gets on his little step stool.
I got
drops-
like a giga prayer.
He drops the prayer in the upper brazier. It burns up in a couple of seconds, and it turns to smoke, joining the rest of the smoke piling up through a little hole in the ceiling of the shrine. And you hear a little clap come from the door as Gert de Wall and a couple of others get excited to see the smoke travel upwards.
Excellent. Then I will go find Gert.
Yeah, you head back outside. The father begins the process of closing the shrine, and Gert says,
Actually, I want to make sure I thank him. I want to intentionally make sure I say thank you.
He gives a nod.
Means a lot to me and my crew. Cool.
"I wish you luck in
All
your
right, then I
travel."
go find Gert.
You head outside.
And I wish you luck in your challenges to come.
Yeah, he looks weary.
Yeah. This guy's like Doomer.
It's looking like the end of the world. It's looking pretty fucking bad for Mythosia right now, at least for the people in it. So yeah, you head outside. You join Gert de Wall and the two others, and Gert looks at the holy symbol of Aurelian Soul around your neck and says, "Well, I think that does it.
Yes.
You got them all.
I will.
think.
There's still mine.
Oh, did you convince the captain to spend that 3 gold of yours?"
I never told him that price.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So, on the incense of yours.
Yeah. I will. Not yet, but I will speak to him, and likely the bosun as well.
Well, if you get that, I think we got about all the blessings this city offers.
You chuckle. Yes. You are very thorough.
I mean, call me superstitious if you want, but there's a simple fact that no ship I've ever been on has actually sunk. They got close before, water flooded underneath, a couple of close-run pirate battles, but never sunk.
Best take on survivor bias I've ever heard. Okay, cool.
Yeah, him
then
and
yeah,
his boys
I
will
will
go drinking. They've been spending the last 4 days
Yeah,
stressing out about getting every possible blessing imaginable. And so now that they've acquired them, they're gonna chill the fuck out now.
That's great. I at some point would like to find Unios and Rudol and Adrian, not necessarily all together.
Great. I think the easiest two of those would be Rudol and Adrian, because you make your way back to the ship, and since you guys are at harbor, your cook has been using basically his personal funds to get some nicer food, just because he wants to eat it as well. And so you can see a little light coming from the captain's quarters, and inside you see Crab, Rudol, Adrian, and Georg are all eating dinner in the captain's cabin.
I'll walk in, see them all eating. Ah, thank you for the invitation.
Well,
You're
that's
welcome.
on you for not being here. But feel free to join us now.
I'll pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Probably won't eat.
Crab just looks at you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Crab,
What have you been getting up to?
give him a nod.
He nods back.
Yeah. I was speaking to some of the top men. Gert, mostly. And they've been on a bit of an expedition these last couple days, collecting prayers from people of different faiths to protect our ship in our travel across the Hammersfall.
Well,
By the way, I'm saying this only to Adrian. I'm not looking. I specifically never look at Rudol.
Yeah.
Based.
Yeah, well, I'm listening too, so I
I know you're listening, but I never look in your direction. I skip past you and I kind of look at the ceiling above you, so my eyes never.
Classic.
Do you look at Crab's human cat?
Am I just in the corner of the room, just like nailing some wood?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because you're working on the hidden area. True.
Yeah.
Just here, just like the occasional.
This room is crazy.
It's so good.
Anyways,
another
they,
necessary piece of art you should commission.
They brought to my attention that it would be perhaps popular with the crew if I was able to bless the ship with my faith, as it's one that they're missing in their completionist quest.
Crab rolls his eyes.
And that's fine. It would cost a total of 3 gold to buy all the incense I would need for the ritual.
You need 3,000 pence worth of incense.
Approximately, that's what it seems like it would be. I'm not demanding this by any means, but of all the crew members I've spoken to, it would be popular, and so if it was popular with the crew, I thought that it would be popular with you as well. You seem to be a surrogate for them, so I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
How many
I'll
crew
pour
members
Adrian
have you
some
spoken
water.
Okay, thanks.
Well, you were coughing a lot, so I assumed you needed it.
Yeah. Yeah. How many crew members have you spoken with?
Just the 3 of them.
Oh. Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt.
Crab clears his throat.
Probably make the men
Captain.
feel better.
Surely you would not waste precious ship resources on something that does nothing. This is the superstitious of stupid people from the desert.
You mean it helps nothing? Helps crew morale.
If you wish to improve crew morale, I will take the 3 gold and I will remove the human face from my cat. I know that causes them some consternation.
I'll look at Shaibon. Can we spare 6 gold?
I'm sorry, what?
I'll
How do you look at
Ship's
Shaibon?
carpenter?
not Shaibon. I don't know why I said that.
Look at him in
Yeah,
the like
it's a-
camera in the corner, and he's just like,
I'm the one in charge of the money.
Fuck.
How much money
No.
do we have?
Like 200 gold?
Yeah,
I think?
all 3 of you look, or like everyone at the table in the room looks over at the little chest that's bolted into the floor of the captain's cabin that contains all the money.
We can spare. I think both of those would probably be good additions to morale before we left.
Crab pets his cat. The offer is off the table if you will waste money on this superstition.
Damn it. All right.
I agree with Crab.
How much?
The-
Which one do you
that
think?
money-
Which one do you think will increase it?
3 gold crew morale budget. Do we want a blessing or to kill a cat?
Oh, we wouldn't even
Adrian.
wait.
Adrian,
look
if
it
I
up.
may,
Oh, yes.
I stopped
only
paying attention when you
3
started
crew
talking.
members have mentioned that they actually would like this to happen. Perhaps if we actually would like a sizable, like, degree of what we should do, we should have an actual vote. Instead of just basing 300 pence, well, excuse me, 3,000 pence of spending on 3 guys that say they want it.
With half the crew, God knows where for the next week.
I'm sure it
down
could
to
be
the
a
crew.
last minute purchase.
How long does the ritual take?
Mm,
Oh, look at Kahim. Oh, wait, this is a really good answer, actually.
could be well, a whole day's work, maybe.
Oh, there you go, Rudol.
If you
I'll
only
look at,
wish to improve morale and you do not care about the actual efficacy, I could go down to the docks, get some sawdust, dye it red, and say that it is pixie dust and will save us from death.
You do that for like 30 pence.
I will do it for free if we stopped even considering this idiocy.
How is that any better than what she's proposing?
It costs nothing.
This is true.
I'll look at his cat. How many other human features does it have?
It has human fingers and toes. And it looks up at you. It looks up at you, looks you in the eyes, and it says, "Meow."
Oh my god,
Oh.
you guys have to get rid of it. We
This is
should
the
not have
worst
to
of
pay
my
him money.
classic Would You Rather.
You should just demand that he's not allowed to have that anymore. You should not pay him 3 gold.
Can you actually just get rid of it?
Yes.
Okay. Like, right now?
You asked me if I can, not if I will.
Damn it. Will you?
No. Akira is a good familiar.
Why does it have to, be like that?
Would you rather my experimentations on flesh sculpting be done on members of the crew?
Yeah, he's got a point there.
Why?
No! He
No,
doesn't!
that's not a
What do you
point.
mean he has a
That's
point?
a horrible point.
I'd rather be a little creeped out by a cat than have us being experimented on.
Yeah, well,
I'd rather
that's
not have experiments be done.
That would never be an option. It's not like, oh no, we have to do one or the other. No!
guys, Crab's not meeting his experiment quota. The ship's gonna sink.
That's only mildly worse than slavery, I guess. Too bad.
Alright.
Does the cat leave the cabin very often?
Yeah. It's a normal cat. It like eats rats on the ship and stuff like that.
How does it do that with it?
It has a human mouth and human fingers, so it will pounce, grab the rat, and then eat it.
Dude, this sucks.
Oh.
You, Alex, you never made this.
Kaheen, I think that one might be better.
All right, that's fine. I, again, only brought it to your attention on behalf of some of these crew members. I am fine to go without it. Also, Captain.
Yeah.
When you have time later, there's a private matter I'd like to speak to you about.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Once dinner's done.
Very good.
All right.
And
Alex? Has any of the top men brought up any concerns they'd like me to bring up to Adrian after my offer on the first day?
No. The crew, while they are a bit more warm to you than they were before, they still don't really talk to you about stuff like that.
Alright.
As you are leaving the cabin, Kaheen, Crab will look at Captain Adrian and say, I was doing some reading before we arrived here in Ravinium, and I have a bit of a trick if you're interested.
Bit of a what?
A trick.
Oh.
A goof. A gaff.
Oh! Right.
This ought to be interesting.
I'm scared, but go ahead.
That drink of water that our kind bosun poured for you. What would you like it to be?
Dwarven ale.
Alright. He, moves his hand across the top of the glass, obscuring what's inside of it, and when his hand leaves, you see a dark amber liquid within the glass.
I pick it up. I slosh
I
it
would
around
not
a little bit.
drink that if I were you. After an hour, you will likely, I just wouldn't.
What's gonna
Georg
happen?
is like sweating.
Oh, cool. So he got famous D&D spell, Disguise Poison.
It will go through a spontaneous transformation through several materials before returning back to water. If it's in your glass, it will not be a big deal, but if it is within your intestinal tract...
What materials is it going to go through?
Most commonly, stone, iron, copper, finally lead, and then back to the original material.
Lead, not the lead.
Oh, but the stone and iron.
The coolest way to kill somebody.
I pour it out onto the floor.
Gets down. That... Well, it will be with the master
Good,
carpenter to deal with if that splits boards apart later.
From the corner!
He's literally in the room.
Fuck. Alright, Shaibon.
It's alright.
Didn't want anyone to drink it accidentally.
And sure enough, yeah, an hour later, you'll hear like a creaking from downstairs, Shaibon, and you'll have to go reapply some tar to one of the bottom boards because, beer was sort of like gathering atop the tar, then it transformed to lead, pushing pushing the boards
I'm
apart.
assuming it
and then turned back to
literally
liquid.
soaked into the wood and then
Yeah.
splintered it, and then
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Aaron, I'm curious. How do you feel about Adrian pouring out dwarven ale?
Even lethal dwarven ale.
Just cold sweat, fucking dripping.
I don't think it was ever dwarven ale to begin with, so.
Yeah, but you didn't drink it, so who knows? Maybe it was.
I wonder why.
Yeah, dinner can conclude. Crab has, he's a quiet guy. He doesn't have any more wacky shenanigans. That's the most, performative
thank
thing
God.
he's ever done.
Thank
And-
God. He needs to control himself.
That was very controlled. Thank you very much. You're the one that poured it out.
I don't know why.
But later that
Most certainly
evening,
Poison.
Kaheen, you can get a moment with Captain Svensson alone.
Yeah. Captain, I have something to bring to your attention.
Alright then. I assume Shaibon is not in the room anymore.
Correct,
No.
yeah. Everyone else has exited
Okay.
the captain's quarters, just the two of you.
Alright.
Well, two matters actually.
Alright.
The first is that I have not an issue, but well, I haven't been I feel like I haven't been getting much out of my mate Unios, and given
Alright.
that we still need a bosun's mate, I feel like he would be better suited for that role. As he had so much interest in the slave purchasing.
He was very helpful there, yes.
He just seems more interested with the crew than with navigation, I'm more than happy to keep working with him. It's not an issue, but I thought that a rearrangement might be potentially beneficial for the ship. I haven't spoken to him about this either. I thought if it was an idea you liked, it might be better coming from you.
Sounds like a pretty good idea. Have to talk to Rudol about it, of course. But
Sure.
I don't see that being a huge issue. I'm sure Rudol would appreciate the help.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to my my next order of business.
All right.
Another reason why I think it would be good for us to have a bosun's mate is that Rudol's hag worship has progressed.
Worship's a strong word, I'd say.
Well, last night, or it would have been maybe 2 nights ago now.
Yeah.
Alex, would it be 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Okay. We, well, he left the ship late at night, and,
Alright.
I was suspicious as he's been working on making these infinite cannons and other magics that I find a little suspicious.
Yes, his normal artificer magic he's always had. Get it?
You've never seen him do it with a cannon, but fine. Anyways, I followed him late into the night, and he went to a park, and he danced in a circle for 8 hours, singing songs and yelling things. And Alex, were they all in like common, or were they in like a weird, scary language?
You didn't even hear it. He just said it softly to himself.
No. He's talking about when you were doing Widdershins dancing, when you're doing the wacky Fey dance.
Oh, the Widdershins, yeah.
In which case, I don't think it would have been coherent, but that, yeah, I don't think you would have understood what he was saying, but that's because he wasn't saying anything. It was just gibberish, but...
Yeah. Speaking in strange tongues, dancing around, obviously worshipping some foul creature, surely in exchange for something.
Oh, sure.
You don't see this as morally questionable?
That he went to a park late at night and danced in a circle for 8 hours? Well,
no, you don't understand. It was he all but collapsed at the end.
You would too if you'd been dancing for 8 hours.
Right, but it is out of character for him. Something is afoot. You cannot tell me that you could maybe convince me that this artificer power he has is normal, but you cannot seriously look me in the eye and tell me that that is what you see Rudol as being his normal pastime at night.
I suppose that is true. No matter who you are, it would be weird to go and dance in a circle for 8 hours.
Unless you're a dancer.
Some ungodly hour, I imagine.
Yes.
Did anything happen afterwards? Or did he just fall over in what I assume could only be exhaustion?
That is all that I saw, but I intentionally didn't get too close. I didn't want to be found out.
I mean, it's weird.
It's
very weird.
More than weird, Captain.
I mean...
I'm just saying that if Rudol all of a sudden has some newfangled power, we know where it came from.
Are you just informing me of this, or are you asking me to do something about it, or...
I have no specific ask. I was kind of hoping that it would, well, yes, frankly, I hoped that you would be a little more, excited about doing something, but it sounds like it doesn't particularly bother you, does it?
It's weird, that's for sure. It's out of the ordinary for anyone, much less Rudol.
Yes.
It's just nothing like lit up or exploded or, you know...
Alex, I didn't see anything like that, did I?
No, certainly not.
Nothing, I mean, you know how to recognize arcane.
At the very end, just before he collapsed, and you saw his lips move, but couldn't hear what he was saying. It got really cold in the surrounding area, and the shadows grew darker.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. At the very end of his dance, when he was falling to his knees, the air around me got so cold. Cold as the darkest nights when I was out in the desert. And despite it being sunrise, it got darker briefly. The whole area shrouded by something.
It's hard to tell if you're being
Yes, it's pretty weird.
theatrical, given your prejudice, extreme prejudice towards Rudol, but that...
I had no problem with Rudol to begin with. I have an extreme prejudice against hags.
Yeah.
Got a point.
Okay. I have to roll something. I have to roll something first.
Sure.
Another mark on the list of Adrian going, okay, and?
Oh, he's so based.
What did you roll? What did you just roll?
I rolled an Arcana check.
Okay.
Alex, do I recognize anything from any forms of magic, be it like...
Here's the
wizardry
thing about
magic
you,
or, like, possession
Captain
or anything?
Adrian. You know, when during your couple months after, you went through an incredibly accelerated course of study in the realm of the arcane.
Yep.
You know, some people take years. You actually had a bit of an affinity towards it, and so you gathered as much as you possibly could. With a 17, I'm going to be way more generous than I usually would be for someone who's so new to spellcasting. For most new spellcasters, I'd be like, hey, you know, you don't know. But you're specifically a wizard. So as you were reading through different tomes and stuff like that, you learned a really major misconception. Most demonic or patron level magic, very little of it is incredibly bombastic and visible. Even the summoning of demons, which sounds like this crazy thing, there are relatively weak wizards who can luck into doing that and bring something horrible into this world. Sometimes it's as simple as a spoken word and then bada bing bada boom, there's a demon. It doesn't have to be crazy and bombastic. So I don't think you've heard anything particular about, you know, decreased temperature and, you know, darker shadows, but you do know that literally just those mumbled words in a strange dance could be enough to bring something horrible into this world.
Huh. Okay. Alright.
And also,
Sure.
you met the hag, right? You were there when we met that hag?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was the one that said the
Remember-
words that allowed it to
Yes.
fucking,
Remember that it was only a small mumble that was able to let her commit an entire genocide.
Yeah.
But I guess that was just kind of weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, alright, I get it. It's more than just normal out of the ordinary. You sure? You'd be willing to, you know, put your reputation on this?
Yeah.
That what you all
I'm
said
not
was
lying.
true. Alright.
Yes,
alright, okay.
every last word of it.
Okay. Well,
I don't demand any immediate action. I do trust your judgment.
I imagine the reason you asked me to put Unios as the bosun's mate was to keep an eye on Rudol, make sure he doesn't do anything fucky.
Yes, and not if, but when he does do something horrible and we have to throw him overboard, I want there to be a trained replacement.
Ah.
Also, everything else I said was true. I do think he would be good at the job, and Quartermaster, although he's doing a fine job, doesn't seem to be, he seems to be more interested in the crew than navigating, so it just seemed, like a good fit. But yes, having a bosun lined up would be,
Or when we,
you know, beneficial.
inevitably throw him overboard.
Yeah, I just don't see him lasting very long if he's doing these kinds of things.
Yeah, I suppose. Be a damn shame to lose him, but...
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, you know, he's making our cannons stronger, and he is quite an adept fighter. I'm looking at that from a pragmatic perspective. But...
Yeah, I suppose.
Is Crab one of the senior officers, Alex?
He used to be, but he retired from surgeon to be just a normal surgeon's assistant. Though
Okay,
he
so
hasn't
if I
done
got
any
him-
of that job at all.
Oh, wait, what's his
His
surgeon's
official
assistant?
job is surgeon's assistant. He has not helped with one surgery.
Well, he also doesn't get paid any extra for being it, so I don't feel too bad.
Correct.
Unless Vernus complains, I'm not gonna.
Vernus is terrified of him.
Okay, I don't imagine Vernus is complaining at all. Then
No.
is he complaining about the lack of a surgeon's assistant,
Nope.
be it Crab or not? All right, well, yeah, that's whatever then.
You guys bought like a very expensive professionally trained surgeon, so he's fine to operate on his own.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just so if I call like a meeting of the senior officers, he doesn't get to come.
Nope. He's just showed up to some of them in the past, by the way, just because he does. But he doesn't like technically have to be there, but he does just show up.
I hate Crab, but he is based.
Okay,
He is a guy that I do gotta hand it to him.
All right, What time is it, Alex?
It's late. I mean, you guys post had dinner. Everyone's gone to bed. I guess it's not that late. It's just after sundown, so it's like probably 9 p.m., 10 p.m.
All right, I'll call a meeting of the senior officers tomorrow, and we'll question
Rudol
him
included.
about it. Yes.
Oh,
Rudol
yes,
included.
okay.
We'll question
Sure.
him about it. Because that is weird. Yes.
Yes. Again, weird is your choice of words for it, but I'm glad that you are interested. It means a lot
I
to
suppose.
me. And,
Yes, it's
it's a sign of your character.
somewhat suspicious. And as for Unios becoming the new Bosun's mate, I think that's an excellent idea. As well as you seem to be doing an excellent job at the quartermaster yourself. You haven't struggled or anything, which is honestly, I'm somewhat surprised for you who've never been on a ship before. I
I've
think
been on
that's
ships, just not navigated them.
Have you worked on one of them before?
Kind of. It's my third voyage.
Where were the other two?
You know I'm from the desert, yes?
Yes, which is why I'm surprised when you're telling me
Yes.
you've been on
And
a
we
ship.
left from the city-state, so I had to get there somehow, Captain.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Svensson, can you roll me a perception check?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh god, who's listening? Is it the cat?
Fuck that thing, dude. That thing doesn't get to come in here anymore if I see it in here. Like, alone. 7. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you just see a little bit of movement. Something small was in the windowsill, and it sort of hopped down.
Dude, it was the cat.
That goddamn cat.
Crab's
Alex,
another.
would my knowledge allow me to know if you can hear through familiars?
Of course you
Hear
can.
and see through them?
Yeah.
Motherfucker was spying on us.
Yeah, Crab is causing some significant issues.
Yeah, that's all for now.
God, imagine using an animal form to spy on a meeting of senior.
That's a good point, actually.
That could never be me.
Who could do that? All right, the two of you guys split up. Svensson, you get cozy in your bed. You double check the lock. Don't want to wake up to that cat's face above you. And Kaheen, you make your way down to the sleeping hold. And as you head down the steps, we're going to cut to you, Rudol. Rudol, as you're sleeping in your hammock, you feel the hammock rock slightly. And it's pitch black. You can't see anything. But you hear Crab's voice. Come to the top deck with me, bosun.
Alright.
And Kaheen, as you're headed down the steps, you see Crab and Rudol walk past you.
Cool. I just keep going down. Don't really look at them.
Okay.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys pass like 2 ships in the night, and Rudol, you join Crab at the bow. He looks over at you. Last night. 2 nights ago, actually. Did you do something for Clamretha?
I'll nod. Mm-hmm.
You were followed. Somehow, Kaheen saw you do it all.
She was a rat. Oh my god, she was a rat.
What do you mean?
Wait, how do you know that?
Well, I've seen you shapeshift before, and I saw a rat
You
last
have?
No, you're
night.
not.
I don't think
Literally,
anyone
no one
has
has seen me shapeshift.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's seen her shapeshift before.
We haven't?
I don't think so.
She's
No.
done it like twice
I've-
now.
Yeah, I don't
I've
think
kept
she's
it
Oh,
that
done
way
right,
it
she's
for
on
done
other
it to
people.
spy on people. That's
Yeah.
right, my bad.
Yeah,
It's
Alright.
only
Never
ever been to
secret.
spy on people.
Yeah,
Right, my bad.
that's alright. But Crab shrugs and says, "Does not matter how she knows now, it just matters that she does. And Captain Svensson is growing a bit suspicious of your powers. They're going to ask you questions tomorrow. I doubt they have the ability to acquire a zone of truth. So we should talk about what you did last night. Have you ever done Hellflake? Have you ever done Hellflake before?
Alex, have I? What is it?
If you don't know what it is, Rudol don't know what it is.
Can I roll what is it, a history check of some
This
kind?
is not a history check.
Rugs check.
Intelligence?
No, I don't think there would be a check to know this. I don't think Rudol spends a lot of time in drug dens.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a drug, okay. I'll shake my head, no.
It is a powerful stimulant. When I was practicing under my master, one of my fellow apprentices used it. When used in large doses, it can make a man go near insane. This Kaheen, she described you dancing in a circle for nearly 8 hours. Perhaps you were having a bad trip. But to truly sell this, I can go acquire you some. Tomorrow at the meeting, you will be fidgeting, scratching. It'll be uncomfortable, but it'll be less uncomfortable than explaining whatever the truth is.
I'll nod.
Nods.
Alright.
I'll pay for it this time.
How much would it normally be?
Are you asking Crab? Because you certainly wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. I have not asked after it since my apprentice days.
I'll toss him a gold.
He'll catch it out of the air and then hand it back over to you.
Fine.
Now, do not sleep too well tonight. We want you nice and bloodshot in the morning.
Alright.
And he will exit the ship and walk off into the city. And there's this moment where you see him walking down the pier, and he is fucking scary in the dead of night. He has his robes on, he has a hood pulled up over his shoulder. He's like already very dark skinned, so it's just this sort of like dark shape moving through the darkness. And then a cat sort of, hops down the railing and hops up onto his shoulder with human grippers and toes. He's a fucking creepy motherfucker, especially at nighttime.
He's got a strut on him, I bet.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Even for, me, a demon worshiper now, it's just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he'll return to you a little bit later with 10 doses of Hellflake, and he instructs you to take 2.
Drug addiction,
Okay.
baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, he'd wait,
how
tells you
much
to wait
does
until
that
the
weigh?
morning. Nothing, basically.
Oh.
He does tell you to wait till the morning to start taking these, because it's going to... it's going to have some effects.
What is it called?
Hellflake.
Alright. Awesome.
Alrighty. So, everyone gets some sleep. We can move a bit forward in the long rest to June 31st. And the following
Wait,
day...
is it the... Oh, alright, yeah, sorry. I thought you were skipping all the way ahead, never mind.
Nope. And the following day, as you wake up, Rudol, as the sun begins to rise, you're very sleep deprived, and you look at this Hellflake, and you were told by Crab how to do it. You are supposed to put it in a small pipe, easily accessible from across the lower part of the boat. You're supposed to put it in said pipe, and you're supposed to smoke it. And holy shit, you are fucking wired, dude. You got energy for days. You're a fucking god. You're unkillable. And I would like to make an intelligence saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Drug
Wow,
addiction.
that's a rare one right
That
there.
is awesome.
Yeah, you feel those rising thoughts of literal invincibility. unexplainably, you feel like you could break through this ship. You could charge down the docks. You could kill the fucking god emperor. But as your ego inflates and inflates, a small part of your rational brain says, no, this is all a plan. This is a strategy. I'm not literally immortal. And all this energy that feels like it's want to run and bound and jump turns you into a jittering, shaking mess. Your leg is bouncing. Your eyes are glued fucking open. You can't even think of sleeping right now. And you start to try to do your morning routine. Like when you go to brush your teeth in the poop room, your hand is like shaking up in your mouth, like bloodying your gums as you just aggressively shake back and forth. It is awful. Your body is both ready to go, and then you have to just contain yourself and do your daily routine. So, that morning, Svensson, at what time are you calling the officers' meeting?
Oh, this was going to be a bit of a later thing in the day.
Oh no, poor Rudol. He's gonna be high the whole goddamn day.
I want to go because I want to
be
talk
high
to
the whole
Mark.
goddamn day regardless.
That's true, but I mean, at least he would have gotten the stressful thing out of the way, and then he could have actually just sprinted around the city, burning off the energy.
Can I go find Democritus?
Yeah, absolutely. You exit onto the ship, and he's at the front bow, and he has these pages, a stack of about 8 of them, and he seems to be flipping through them, reading them. He seems to have a disappointed expression on his face.
Something on your mind, Democritus?
He glances up. Yes, I'd sent a manuscript back to Zuri, the very expensive sending spell.
I imagine.
And, this is the transcribed feedback I got.
Not well?
Well, the story I sent was a short story called Boom. I wrote it inspired by your vessel. It's about the crew of a cannon. They keep firing it, the stress of battle, and then the cannon backfires and kills all 4 of them. It was meant to be a sort of dark comedy, but to sum up 8 pages of diplomatic exchange, apparently it wasn't funny.
You know, I think that might be a good sailor's tale. All of our tales are, lessons of some kind where whoever's involved tends to die horribly. So if you worked in they fucked up the cannon somehow or did something stupid, I think you find some success there.
Perhaps. Oh, and I did consider your thing about drums. I will not be playing them, but I did find a local boy who has some talent, and he'll be joining me for the reading of the Windsail and the Living Gale.
Yes, I'm sure the oarsmen will like that. They listen to them all day anyway.
Very true.
Unrelated question. Can you cast Zone of Truth?
Why?
We have some questioning we'd like to do of someone. Might be better if we could access that. I know bards can learn it.
Indeed they can. I'm not that sort of bard, though.
Oh, well.
If you'd like to convince him that his hands are melting, though, I can help you there.
No.
Perhaps you'd like to see it.
No, definitely not. No, that'll be okay.
My old employer liked that quite a bit. Once, we terrified men, made them fear for their lives. In fact, I don't think I've told you this one before. We were going to this fort.
Yeah, that's... Actually, it does sound like a good story. I would like to hear it at one point. Not right now.
So sorry. I have to go to this thing for like 10 minutes.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
No, that's good.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
We love you.
We'll make sure to wait for your, intervention.
No, guys. This is only
Alright,
sure
now
game.
that he's gone,
Strike
we all
now.
kill him.
Throw him overboard!
Keep going, Ethan.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So I was,
He'll save the
Wait,
tale of Fort
you said
Aragoy
you,
for another time.
You said you, paid to have, sending cast, right?
Yes, cost a small fortune.
How much did it cost?
Well, I just needed a couple of minutes with the Arcanist Sending Stone, so it cost me 450 gold.
Good lord.
He has 450 gold to drop on something.
Reminder,
like
he
Where
came
did-
to your ship saying he was broke.
that? Yeah.
You told us you were broke. Where did you get the money?
Oh, I just charged it to my account.
Your account?
Yes, my bank account.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have one in your, city-state. Not in the way that these Mythosians do. A couple of years ago, maybe a decade back, I performed in Nauseus for 3 months straight. Made enough money that I just put it in a Mythosian bank, and whenever I come through the Empire, I just take a bit off the top.
How much would it cost to get someone who knows how to cast Zone of Truth?
I'd reckon a couple hundred gold for a single casting. And, of course, you'd be put on the waiting list. This is Mythosia, after all.
Yeah. Damn it.
Certainly no Zuri. Certainly no Zuri.
Of course. Alright, well, it was always worth an attempt. You know, if you learn Zone of Truth, we have a lot of success in, using it. Very helpful.
I'm quite successful with my spells.
Are you? I haven't seem to, not be very successful in general. Although I suppose if you have 450 gold to drop on something like that, I'm kind of wrong, aren't I?
Well, if you went to Zuri one day, you'd understand the true extent of my genius. I've been a prodigy for nearly my entire life. Wrote my first play when I was 15.
Were you banished from Zuri?
Yes. But that banishment was lifted. And then again, but that second one was also lifted.
Are you here because you got banished a third time?
No. I simply wish to see the world. Now that I have the coin, I mean, that's what people say, you spend your life working and then you see the world, and well, I'm seeing it. And it's about the same as the League, but, at least you're speaking a different language when you pillage and kill and rape.
Yes, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Anyway, I would like to hear that story, probably over dinner.
Oh, the famed captain's dinner. I've heard of them from that carpenter of yours. Apparently he's a bit of a fly on a wall doing those.
Well, he is working in the captain's cabin, so makes sense. But yes, you're invited tonight if we end up having it.
Well, and I will regale you the story of the Hound of Apar and the Dragon of Dirkfall.
Very unironically does sound interesting. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he certainly made it up.
Which even knows he made it up too.
Unfortunately, I actually know that. Yeah, I know exactly how much of it is made up and how much of it isn't. Okay, yeah. Well, fuck. If I can't do that, I was really hoping to fucking shaboing boing Rudol with Democritus knowing that, but oh well.
Yeah, it costs way too much money, and Democritus doesn't have that spell.
Yep. Alas.
Now,
Okay.
How much money did he just pay for that?
Pay for what?
All right. I'm gonna be gone for like 20 seconds.
Okay.
I was wondering if Democritus would pay for Zone of Truth, but probably not.
No, sir. No, he won't even fight with you guys. He's definitely not going to pay for an expensive thing like that. Alrighty, so we are on the 5th day of our time in the city. Unios.
Let's see.
Well, actually, I called attention to you because as you wake up this morning, you will, just be preparing your things, shaving your face because, you like to look nice and pristine. And the surgeon for the ship, Vernus Arminius, he will sort of walk over to you. He seems a little bit soft-spoken, and he'll say, excuse me.
Surgeon, what do you want?
You're the, quartermaster's mate, right?
Yeah.
There's a purchase that I'd like to make, but, the quartermaster herself seems to be quite busy. I see her going around, talking to the captain, going to sermons, and, the dreaded Alceranian shop. The smells enough was warding me away. So I was wondering if I could inquire to you about the things I'd like to purchase.
What is it you wish to purchase?
Well, I was walking through the city, and within a fine goods shop, so they sell books, I found 2 incredible tomes Chirogons, guides to scalpels and sutures. I know, I didn't think I'd be able to find it either, but it was right there. And they also have leech crass and phlebotomy. Those two are going to be, beautiful additions to my collection. So, all told, only 8 gold, the real steal.
No, not from the ship's coffers.
But it would improve my surgeon's abilities.
How much, so?
Well, perhaps one of you ingests a toxin. I mean, this ship is practically filled with this stuff. Or during a battle, one of you gets a particularly nasty bout of some sort of a poison from one of our foes. If I don't have the tome on leechcraft and phlebotomy in the modern age, how will I know how to remove such a toxin?
I don't suppose you can afford these yourself.
If I could afford anything myself, I wouldn't be on this wretched ship.
I will think about it.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. And he will withdraw back to his little corner of the lower hold. So, is there anything else you want to do today?
He's given up on Miss Doja, so he might inspect the new debt slaves just to make sure they're not causing trouble, but other than that, I'll probably go to a bar and mosey about.
Okay. Yeah, the new debt slaves are not causing trouble. All the oarsmen are starting to get a bit... the debt slaves particularly are not enjoying this. You guys have been at harbor for 5 days now, and almost all their time they have to spend on the ship. Technically, the longer term ones are allowed to walk around the harbor, but they have no money to spend, so it's not exactly good for them. And the newer ones are told to remain in the ship. So, tensions are getting high, but Vezio and his marines are keeping them in touch, or intact. And you can go drinking. Do you have any money on you? Did you get the income stipend from Gaheen for the crew?
I had money to begin with. I don't think I
there
ever
you
got
go.
a stipend.
Alrighty. Yeah, then you can get some drinks removed.
I suppose he's gonna look for Kaheen too, to ask her about the surgeon's request.
Sure, yeah, Gaheen, where would you be bright and early in the morning at 6 a.m.?
Probably... Is the sun out, or is it only starting to come out?
It's fully up. It's been up for about 30 minutes.
Okay. Then I'm just getting my things together down by my bunk because I want to go hit the town.
Okay. Then that is where you find her, Unios.
Mistress Kaheen,
Yes.
the surgeon wants to buy books, something to do with phlebotomy. I think it's a bad idea, but I figured I should not tell him no without running it by you first.
What is phlebotomy?
I don't know.
Why does he want it?
He thinks it will improve his surgeoning skill. But it would cost 8 gold.
8 gold for a book? Why does he not just read it? I went to the bookstore, read several books, purchased none of them.
I did not ask him. I suppose I'll tell him to read it then.
Astounding.
Good on you. I think you made a good decision.
At this point, I walk down into the hold.
Okay.
Oh, good. You're both here. Don't go anywhere. We're having the meeting soon. I'll look at Keen.
What
Very good.
meeting?
Oh, good. You should actually be there too.
What
Yeah.
meeting is it?
Don't worry about it. You'll be there. We'll find out. And I'll go walk up to find the other officers and tell them where we were.
Okay. Well, since Blake is not back yet, we are going to cut to Aaron.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Georg.
Yeah.
You've been in the city of
Georg.
Ravinium for 5 days now. And every city you go to, 'cause you haven't been to many, realistically. You've been with the Defiance, that's the first ship you'd ever been on before that, Carpenter, obviously. So at this point, you've been to about 7 cities, other than the city-state. And each one has their own unique character, their own unique booze, and their own unique vices to get them through the day. Today, you are up from the previous night. You never ended up returning to the ship. You've been at the same bar all evening. And you've been going through the different drinks of the city, and none of it's unique. None of it hits that character. They have this kind of unique concoction, which they love mixing coffee and alcohol. That's like their thing in this city. Coffee is their big thing, but they'll mix it with alcohol as well. But as you've sat here, you've been offered again and again and again fire moss. It exists in your city of the city-state, but here it seems to be a bit more recreational. And, you know, you're sitting at the bar, bleary-eyed, probably going to go to bed soon. There's a nice-looking booth over in the corner of this bar. And one of your fellow crewmates, Philo Cord, a man who's been on the Defiance just as long as you have, sits down next to you, and he sort of offers you a pinch of fire moss, sort of absent-mindedly.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
All right, you press your fingers together, it burns, and then this cool relief sort of begins to spread throughout you. And you feel this sort of awareness, this buzz, this high that just sort of keeps you alert. And Philo glances over and says, "It ain't like it used to be, is it, Georg?"
Yep. The booze don't hit as well as it used to as well.
I didn't mean that, but I mean, I remember when you didn't used to drink, back when you were captain.
I'm back.
Well, a lot of things have happened.
That's true. Lost Captain Dominus, Captain Hoof, Dr. Kruger.
Damn, Dr. Kruger must have been a really cool guy.
I mean, you met him. You were a carpenter, but you know, he was a good lad. It was a shame the way he went into that damn forest. There's not many of us gonna be left after all this, you know. Us who were there when Julian Dominus put this all together. All the oarsmen are different. Quartermaster's different. Master Sergeant, we didn't even have a Master Sergeant other than Julian himself. And now we're working with Mythosians. You remember when we had Captain Dominus? Man, if we'd ever encountered any Mythosians, we would have shown them the what for, board their vessels, take care of them. Now we go through their bureaucracy for what was that, 8 hours?
Oh. The captain was it. I don't really mind anything. As long as I get my pay at the end of the day and booze, I'll just do what it takes.
I'm just saying this. When you were captain, sure, you know, you officers had to do dangerous work. I never did get the full story about what happened when you went through that, onto that island, through that strange portal. But none of our lives were at risk. Makes me miss the olden days.
Well,
In fact, you know, as a token for my appreciation, I got a bunch of this extra stuff. One of the younger men of the crew passed out when he was carrying it, and he hands you over a small little, sort of like waterproof fur pouch, and inside is 20 doses of fire moss.
haven't really tried this before, but felt good. Yes.
And just be careful you don't, you know, burn calluses into your finger. If you ever get searched by any of those Puritans in the West, it's a dead giveaway.
I'll keep that in mind.
You can try switching the fingers if you like. That's what some of the real ones do. They get real into it, but don't want their wives or daughters to know.
You like it?
And then there were 2, baby. 2 drug addicts. Let's go.
Alright,
Oh god.
this is good to know. I will keep that in mind.
Alright, add 20 doses of fire moss to your sheet.
Let's go.
Eventually, Svensson, you will find Georg. He is rough. He reeks of alcohol. He smells of fire moss. The finger pad on his left hand is bright red. Yeah.
And enjoying yourself, Georg? Look at the fire moss burn.
I tried it today. It's brought back the feeling that didn't think I had.
Well, yes, years of severe alcoholism. I suppose not even years. Severe alcoholism will do that to you. But it is quite the experience. How old am I? Let me make this right. Let me say this.
21.
Oh, I'm 29, but sure.
I think you were saying how old you actually are.
Oh.
That's so fucking funny.
I'm too Adrian pilled. I tried when I was younger. It wasn't bad. Didn't get too heavily into it more either. But I'm glad you're branching out. Anyway, are we on the ship? Or are we
Glad you're branching out.
Hardcore drugs.
Oh god, dude, that's so
Friend does
funny.
heroin.
Yeah, I'm glad you're branching out.
Good
No,
to
you
try
guys
new
were
things.
you were at a bar, so you have to bring Georg back. And as you begin
Okay,
to
yeah,
pull
we
together
gotta
this-
go
yeah.
back.
Yeah, as you begin to form the senior officers, we're going to do one last little combo. Unios, you go in search of the surgeon, and you find him. He is currently outside of the bathroom, and he's, like, talking to the guy inside. There's sort of like a muffle because the door's closed, and you hear the voice from inside say,
No, I think it's red.
and, you know, the surgeon says, can I open the door? I can barely hear you in there. And there's, like, sort of muffled on the other side, and then the door opens slightly, and the man says, I think it's red. And the surgeon says, dear God, you should go to an actual, like, proper doctor. I only have things for battlefield injuries. Red stool is not in my forte. And the man on the inside of the bathroom just closes the door, and the surgeon just sort of cradles his hand, his, like, forehead in his hand. And he glances over at you, like, a couple feet away.
I do not envy your job, surgeon.
It's not what I thought I'd be doing with the education, but here we are.
I spoke to the quartermaster and she said no, you may not use the money from the ship's coffers. She said you should read the book where it is.
It's a reference manual. I can't just read it.
Well, you do stand to make money soon, no? At the end of the voyage.
If we get to Tucson, sure, but... I mean, the phlebotomy book I can get anywhere. Leechcraft is a well-known art, but... it would have been... Do you even know who chirurgeons? Do you know what the title means?
I don't know and I don't care, but what
It's a
I'm
rare
offering,
book, suffice it to say, that's all that needs
I
to be
can
said.
lend you some of my own money if you're willing to pay it back with slight interest.
I appreciate that offer, but I'm in far too much debt to be accepting more.
Oh, you could save a life with it, you say?
Saving one of your lives. I'll be just fine.
I will be too.
Well, when one of your companions is laying on a table, and he needs a double Twix screw knot, and I don't know how to do it because I don't have my book of sutures, that's not my problem, that's all of yours.
And yet here you had your opportunity.
He shrugs. And,
Alright, well, the offer stands until we leave.
yeah, we pan up through the middle deck where all the new debt slaves are sitting there just sweating in the interior of the ship, to the top deck where we see those returning from the very late partying and those hanging out for a nice day in the city of Ravinium. And within the captain's quarters, there is Adrian Svensson, Georg Wallace, Rudol Stronheim, Vezio, Kaheen, and lastly, Crab, who was here before you came here for your meeting, and he is still sitting there.
All right, Crab.
Am I heading up
Need it.
there, Eric?
I would imagine so. I imagine Svensson would grab you in a moment. But yes, Crab will look over at you. I was doing some reading.
Well, fortunately, you can do that literally anywhere, as long as you have a book.
He walks over to your glass. Or he walks past the table, but his hand sort of drifts over one of the glasses on the table, and this horrific stench fills the cabin. Fucking ass. It smells like liquid fart has been placed within that glass, and he exits the captain's quarters.
Rudol, dump that out.
Outside. I'll just yeet it out like right at him, I guess.
As the liquid flies through the air end over end, he just simply waves his finger and undoes the benign transmutation, and it goes back to normal water before splashing across his robes.
Imagine that. Fucking repair the fucking.
Oh, that was
again.
Crab?
Yeah, that was Crab. But yeah, Svensson, you can recover. So the people in this cabin are you, Georg, Kaheen, Rudol, Vezio, and Unios. You want Shaibon?
Yeah, why? Yeah, isn't Shaibon a senior officer?
No.
Why is Shaibon
I just have two
bolded
shares.
on this sheet?
Bolded just means it's a player character.
Yeah.
Oh. I see Jackson is also.
Yeah. Because like I have the same amount of shares as the surgeon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For, the sake of Xander being a player.
So you mean
okay,
first so that
let's
Shaibon
have
can
him
keep
get
working on the floor?
Yes, of course. Yes,
Okay,
that is the
yeah.
actual
Okay,
idea.
so Shaibon, you're working on the jointing the last of the boards that you set up with the fake floor you set up in the corner as the 5 senior officers plus Unios sit down at the table.
All right. I'll look at Rudol now. Is he
He is weird. He's like sweating. His leg is bouncing. His eyes are bloodshot.
who's sitting right next to me?
Next to you would be Georg.
Lean over to Garrett. Does he look
Normal,
drugged?
Now, Georg,
I
this
can
is
see
where
the
a
bloodshot
history
eyes.
check would apply for you, because this isn't like history you can find in a book. This is personal experience, baby.
History?
Oh yeah, that's a history check.
Yeah?
Yeah, you scroll through your
Oh,
mind
all right,
counts of
yeah.
seeing people passed out in street corners in their own vomit, of seeing someone inside of a fire moss den, their hands literally blackened to a crisp, and then boom, you locate it. A man sprinting down the city-state docks, completely buck naked, screaming at the top of his lungs, and one of your fellow crewmates looked over to you and told you he was on Hellflake. And you're pretty sure these are most of the symptoms of that drug.
That's some help like that he's on.
Flake?
Yeah, it's a
Right, yeah, I know what it is.
okay. Well,
Rudol, are you on Hellflake?
No. No, why would I be on Hellflake? I'm not on Hellflake. I couldn't even get Hellflake.
Yeah, sure. Why are you on Hellflake?
It's a crazy story, man. I was making the signs and I'm awake constantly, and I need to be awake constantly to make the signs, and it was. And where we were here, and it's really hard, man.
Well, Captain, I think my case is closed.
I'll look at Kaheen. Is this how he was acting then?
No, this is far worse.
Oh. He wasn't all like this? When
No.
you...
No, he seemed composed.
Okay, that doesn't help his case at all, because this is him on Hellflake, and he wasn't like that, and that can't just be explained by Hellflake, right?
No, it seems like he's been worshipping a hag and also picked up a crippling drug addiction.
No, man,
Yeah.
I was just dancing the other day, and I was like, man, I really need. I was on the come down, and then I was like, man, I really need to like calm down now. So I was like, I went to a calm place, and I was like, man, I really need to like do like yoga. Yeah. It was kind of like yoga, and so I started dancing, and it made me feel better. And so I kind of fell down, and I was there for a bit, and then went back to the ship, and it helped me sleep.
You sure it wasn't like that?
Huh?
This is Dick Kaheen. You sure he wasn't
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, I didn't speak to him, so I
Yeah,
cannot tell you if
obviously
he was
not.
stammering, but He wasn't Blake's like shaking out of his mind, right?
Yeah. Rudol's like legs are bouncing. There's sweat like pouring down from his head. Yeah. Now to be fair, he was like this after the 8 hours of dancing, but that more had to do with like his
Yeah.
muscles failing.
That's 8 hours of
Yeah.
dancing.
He began his dancing composed. He stood still. He considered what he was going to do, and then
He
he did
stood
it.
still? Yeah, okay. Yeah, never mind. That's yeah. If he stood still for any well, I don't think we're gonna get much I don't think we're gonna get any answers out of him like this.
Captain, may I ask
Well,
what
we
we
could
are
get-
talking about?
Yes, Kaheen, why don't you why don't you provide some context to why we're having this meeting?
Rudol is continuing his hag worship, and it's growing more concerning. And I don't like having it around me, and I certainly don't like having it as somebody who is in charge of our crew. The other night, 2 nights ago, well, actually, it would be 3 now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
3 nights ago, Rudol snuck out, left the ship, and I followed him as I was worried that he might be up to some unsavory activities, and unfortunately, my suspicions came true. I followed him to a park where he spent the entire night dancing in a circle and mumbling some archaic and eldritch words to himself.
No speculation, Kaheen. Only what you saw.
Fine, mumbling some gibberish to himself. It lasted the entire night, hours, 8, maybe 10 of them. And when it was all said and done, something very strange happened. The entire area grew much colder than it was before, only for a few moments. But I could feel it myself, and I could see it in him. The whole park grew a deep chill, and despite the sun rising, for a moment, it all got darker. The shadows grew bigger, and the light coming from the sun simply did not make it to the ground. There was some kind of shrouding. And then, he went back to the ship, as if nothing had happened, and, well, now apparently seems to be on some
doing
kind of drug.
Hell flick. Yes.
So, not to mention all of this funny business of getting infinite cannonballs, which everyone else is fine with, but I still find questionable.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was worth bringing up with all of you. And then I was going to ask Rudol about it, but he seems indisposed at the moment. Now, you know what? Rudol, what do you have to say for yourself about all that?
No, I just like dancing, man. It was like yoga, man. It helped me calm down, and I wanted to go back to the ship, and I wanted to sleep because I haven't slept in like. Okay. Oh yeah. I'll shut up, man. I'm sorry, man.
All right then. Now, I share.
Try to sleep like to cracked out Blake.
Little do you know, that's just how I talk.
I share Kaheen's concerns about him being able to lead and set an example for the men. And, quite frankly, perform his job and enforce discipline. So, I was going to do this after a bunch of questioning, but I suppose I can do it now. I suppose, Alex, I'll have to ask you what the procedure is. If we wanted to get an officer just removed from their position, not like kicked off the ship or anything, just removed from their position.
Yeah, let's take a look at your charter. I don't recall what we said about that.
I'm not sure if we said anything, or specified anything. I imagine we would say something.
Surely there's something.
Yes,
For
yes,
removal of an officer, it is unilateral decision by the captain.
Oh,
Only the captain requires a vote, and the quartermaster.
Well, to be fair, I've been doing well at my job like the entire time, and it wasn't a concern until Kaheen followed me
Yeah,
into
but
like
again,
in
it
the
is
dead of night.
unilateral decision of the captain for it. So unless
Yeah,
you want to argue
fair.
To
with
be
character,
fair,
he
you're
can just do it.
on
Yeah.
crack cocaine and trying to make sound arguments.
yeah.
Nuh-uh.
That does kind of discredit you a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
Also,
Captain-
Blake, to be clear,
Oh, okay,
I do
alright.
feel bad about this. I'm not coming after you, but it's on my feet. I gotta do it.
Damn. L.
Damn.
It's what my
I-
character would do.
It is.
True.
No, don't,
Unironically.
don't hit him with that the way he uses it legitimately. No. I am considering removing Rudol from his position, I suppose. Thoughts?
Yes.
Yes, I know what you think, Ian. Georg, thoughts?
It is a little bit undisciplined to show up cracked out of your mind to a officer meeting.
Looks at Georg.
I quickly hides my fingers and slurs my
Georg.
words a little bit.
I mean, I know you're drunk as of this moment, so that can't possibly be all you have to say about it. But I
I
suppose
mean,
you've
it's
never
just a
shown up on help.
one-time mistake, so I
And
personally think
more
it's-
of what of his extracurriculars outside of drug use? Because I called this meeting before I knew he was using Hellblade.
Okay, I mean, do we have anyone else testifying to seeing this, or is it just word of mouth?
It's just word of mouth.
Well, it's just me, but that doesn't make it word of mouth.
And he also
I get it.
admitted to doing those things.
He admitted to making a deal with a hag, did he not?
That is fair. Alright. That's for me, I have no way to defend you. Sorry, but
He also did not deny. Oh, I suppose yes. Do you deny that you did the things as Kaheen saw them?
Yeah.
You just told us you were dancing like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was dancing.
For 8 hours, 3 nights ago.
It was more like 5 minutes, but you know.
No, it was not. It was sundown to sun up.
No.
Yes.
Nuh-uh.
So you don't refute that you didn't go and dance in the middle of the night. You simply refute the length of time it was for.
I just went and danced. That's all I know, man.
All right, I don't think he's denying the claims overall. All right, so. All right. Nope, can't ask Rudol. I would. Would be where I would ask Vezio.
Yeah, Vezio. I mean, I can guess how Yarrow would respond because the last time you talked about the whole Rudol thing, this is what he said. He just said, you know, whatever the crew decides, because he does not care.
All right, cool. Tribon, what do you think?
I do not
Asking
believe
the carpenter face.
I do not believe I should even be in this room during the discussion. But
All right then.
I personally am uncomfortable with the idea of this hag worship, but I would not do anything to personally to diminish Rudol as a member of the crew.
Very
Out of character, that would probably mean that who would be the bosun after that?
Well, I'm
Well,
trying to
well.
install Unios.
Fortunately, we do have. Yes, we have someone else that we've.
Unios.
Et tu, Brute.
L.
All right. Well, Rudol, do you have anything else to say for yourself?
I don't know. I'm trying to think on what Rudol would say in this state, because like no one bought it for a second, like, and the
That's
whole
okay.
plan just like diminished in 2 seconds, like continuously.
Yeah, Crab kind of flopped with that idea. I don't really know what he
Yeah.
was going for there.
He
Like,
did
I hope
not-
I'm not
guess he-
metagaming just because I heard it, but frankly, like, you walked
guess-
in out of your mind, and I was trying to undercut your credibility. So,
I mean, yeah,
It's
if you don't
been-
know what to say, that's
Yeah,
completely fine. Yeah, I mean, as was said before, Rudol's having a rough go of it. He's a bit out of his mind, and there's a lot of events happening. Maybe if he was in a better mind state or had more time to unpack this all. But to be fair, even when he was in a fully legit mind state when Kaheen accused him back the first time, I think you even still were like had a tough time arguing because it's just like Hag bad, and you don't think Hag bad, so you just sort of stunlock and don't know what to do. So I think that's sort of how it feels this time as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, chewing on turkey.
In character, canonical beef jerky eating.
I'm gonna just go back to work.
Rudol, you don't have a job anymore. In the midst of chewing jerky.
And then you just see in the corner of the room, J-Bond just going,
Yeah, he's just hammering shit.
All right. I'm not going to officially strip him of the title yet. I want to wait till he's in a more presentable state. Vezio, can you pat him down for any more of that stuff you might have?
Yes, Vezio will, do as instructed. Rudol, do you have any more on your person?
Yeah, I have 8 more.
Okay, well, Vezio will, reach into your coat pocket as you're basically shivering with, like, fever, and withdraw a couple more of these sort of bright red flakes from within your coat.
Jesus. I'll look at Georg. What's the going rate on Hellflake?
Do I need a roll check for that, Alex? Or
Yeah, I think you would need to roll a check for that. Roll me just a flat charisma check to see if you've bought any, or know of anyone who's bought any while you've been on port leave. It's not a very common drug amongst sailors because there's not a lot of room to like be sprinting around on the sea.
17.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. It would cost 1 electrum per dose.
It is 1 electrum per dose, Captain.
Okay, alright, not that much. I don't know why he chose this specifically. Okay. I don't know, burn it, toss it overboard, do something with it. Just don't use it. That's to Vezio.
Yeah, Vezio will start to walk outside, and when he leaves the cabin, you hear some muffled talking on the other side.
Okay, I'll wait for him to get back then.
Yeah, you continue to hear muffled talking.
Oh, okay, I'll get up and go see what's going on.
Yeah, you can look through the window, and you can see Crab is talking to Vezio. Vezio is, like Vezio is, just a fucking blank slate, no emotion on his face, just, going for the edge. And Crab has his hand extended, and Vezio is just staring at him.
I'll open the door.
And
Crab,
you
what's
can
going
hear,
on here?
yeah, you can hear Crab saying, "Well, I don't know why you're being so impetulant like a child. Give it back." And as you open the door, I'll glance over. "Your brute here is attempting to steal my property."
I mean, steal your property. We got that up. Rudol.
"Yes, I lent it to him. He's doing tough work on our cannons."
You lent him Hellflake?
Don't act like you're above Hellflake, Captain.
No, of course I'm not above Hellflake, but that was, my younger days. That's not... I don't have an issue with it being Hellflake. It's just... First
Well,
off,
you
how do
wanted him to
lend
get the
someone-
cannons done by the end of the week, right? You're asking for infinite cannonballs? Is it not understandable? A man would need to get a bit of energy to do such a thing.
I think you're misunderstood into what goes
there
on.
are better drugs than Hellflake for that.
He looks over and says, "Oh, perhaps you like your degenerate drug of the desert, your alaka, with blue eyes and hazy minds? You need a functioning brain
Yes.
to do this work."
I don't think he has much of a he's not very functional right now. So I don't think it's doing him much good.
No, I can do it right now, man. Let me show you, man.
Shut up, you. Sit down.
Either way, my request is plain. Return of my property. Unless you'd like to
Rudol.
give me money from your ship's coffers.
Rudol, did he give you that?
Yeah, he didn't.
What? I'll look at Crab. Okay. I'll nod to Vezio. Yeah,
Vezio will.
it's
I mean,
his.
yeah. If you say to do it,
It's
Vezio
his,
will
it's his.
hand it over. Crab will
Just,
collect it.
Maybe give him a bit less next time.
So now you're concerned about your crew's drug usage.
Well, when it affects their performance, I suppose.
Like
But no,
your first officer staying awake until 6 in the morning. Drunk, drinking during duty, being drunk while in the cat's nest watching for ships on the horizon.
like I said, Crab, I don't actually have an issue with drug use or alcohol use or anything like that. That's why I'm giving this back to you. I really don't care. It's just, it seems like it's his first time using it. He might have given a bit too much.
I think it is simple to say that there is a bias aboard this ship.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Crab, but spin that however you want.
He shrugs. Vezio
All
just
right,
walks inside.
Crab
yeah, Vezio,
bias.
don't let him leave until he's sober.
Vezio will just look down at Rudol, look at you, and then give a nod.
Alright then. Alright, as for the rest of you, you can do any of you specifically want to be here while I'm questioning him? I'll look to Georg and Kaheen, and well, I suppose Vezio's gonna be there anyway. So yeah, it's really just Georg and Kaheen.
I might stay.
Would you like me to leave? I don't need to be in the. I could take a
Yeah,
pause.
yeah. You're, no, you can stay in it. You can stay in here and finish while we're waiting for him to sober up. I'm not gonna question you now, but you don't have to be here. Never have to be here.
I'm just gonna get back to work then.
All right then. And Kaheen, I imagine you want to be there.
Huh?
I imagine you want to be here while I'm questioning him once he sobers up.
Yes.
All right, I'll come get you guys when he sobers up then.
Alrighty. Everyone leaves the captain's cabin, barring Rudol and Vezio. As you head out onto the deck, Adrian, you see a small group of people, maybe 4 or 5 of them, gathered around a nice fluffy white cat on the deck, and Crab is standing nearby.
Is it like normal?
Yeah, it's completely very cute cat actually.
That's good to see. Okie dokie.
So, it's gonna take a while for Rudol to come down. Quite a while, actually. So, anything need to get done today?
Have I made the Hammer's Fall trip before?
Whew. I can't imagine why you would, right? Because you were a city-state marine, and then you were reading Myth Dojo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you've ever
wouldn't-
done the Hammer's Fall trip before.
Okay. I'll go back to that bar where some of the other ship captains hung out, and I'll just sort of ask them about it, see if they have any advice, anything like that.
Eastoid's never been west.
Yeah, roll me a charisma check.
Alright.
Or persuasion if you have it, or whatever. I assume you don't have proficiency in persuasion.
I actually do, yeah.
Yo! Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you learn a couple things. One, summer, no bueno. Summer is not the best time to be doing this crossing, but unless you want to wait until winter, there's no getting around that. It just is what it is. The main reason why summer is the non-preferred time is because, let's go to our good old friend, the world map. We have not been in here for a while, like 6 hours, because we weren't here all of last session either, I don't think. here we are on the world map. We're going to make our way to the Hammer's Fall. One moment. So within the Hammer's Fall, there are two separate tidal systems that dominate the area. One is the northern one, which is called the Cold Wraith, and the southern one, which is called the Urges. The Urges dominates this sort of lower area, the area that you guys will be crossing from. And it's sort of like a cyclical thing, kind of like this, whereas the Cold Wraiths go up like this. And during different times of the year, you can expect different weather based on how those two ocean systems are interacting. During the summer, cold water coming down from Colkland will go north of Praton, and then it will begin to interact with the waters of the Urges, which results in heavy, wet, nasty thunderstorms. Whereas in the winter, it's still horrible wind and shit, but it's drier in the Urges, and it's generally considered warmer, which is going to cause minor tropical storms and stuff like that, but it's not going to be causing these, like, you know, battering, like, massive, heavy rains coming down, slamming onto Praton, slamming onto Mythosia, and ultimately into the middle of the Hammer's Fall. So it's not the best time of year to be crossing. The big advice that you get is, if there's a storm, don't even try to make any progress, because if you do, you will get lost and probably just undo all the progress you made for the last, like, however long you've been traveling. Just lower your sails, batten down the hatches, and just get ready to sit there for as long as it takes.
Alright. That's another thing. Is there a, like, an accepted equator of the world that's known?
No, they would not use that terminology.
Do they have it?
The problem is that this has been a known mathematical fact that if you do the obelisk experiment, where you basically measure the length of shadows and use that to predict curvature, Valeros should be fucking huge, much bigger than it actually is because of the mist wall. And so, because of that, like, they're not anywhere near the planet's equator. And the planet should be huge, but since nothing's beyond the mist wall, at least no one knows of it, those experiments have largely been disregarded as a failure of mathematics.
Okay, that's fucking... What a silly conclusion to name that. Rip bozos.
So they've basically determined that the world is flat, but it's like a curved plate rather than an actual sphere.
Fucking... Rip bozos. Adrian's better than those
Well,
idiots.
go beyond the mist wall, and then you'll be better than them.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm waiting
I should.
for.
You know what? All right, boys, straight south. Too easy. Not to worry. I'm sure we'll make it. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Since you got a 20, I'm trying to think if there's other really concrete advice. Obviously, the sail thing is actually really important. You should just not try traveling. I guess the second piece of knowledge is storms in the Hammer's Fall are supernatural. That's the belief that all these captains have. They all agree. They will last for between 3 to 12 days. Storms, that is, in one location. So if you get hit by a storm, you should expect to just be sitting there for 3 to 12 days.
Like, they don't move at all?
They do move. But, and if you talk to the captains here, real advice starts to mix with superstition. They all agree that when a storm reaches a ship, it just seems to somehow stick with it for days on end. And, you know, they say it's almost like it's glomming onto you.
I see. Alright, cool. Okay, yeah, that's what I do with my day.
Oh, probably up our rations.
Okay.
How many have we got?
23, but if we get hit with a 12-day storm or two.
Yeah, two of those and you would be instantly out.
Alex, can we get world map again?
Yes, we can.
Well, not instantly out. You just start starving some people.
Oh, yeah, true. Selective ration.
Unfortunately, the oarsmen need to be strong for, like, you know, rowing and stuff.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to travel the Hammer's Fall.
No, we can't ration them first. So, guess who?
Alright, and how many miles a day are we expecting to go?
90 is your, you know, fair weather average.
Okay. I think it's enough days, but we could get more. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Okay, yeah, that's an entirely you thing.
Oh, sorry. Did we
Well, I
decide
thought
to make
Jackson kind of in charge of inventory.
Did we what?
I was gonna ask, did we decide to make Jackson the temporary bosun's mate, or are we waiting until we're done with the Rudol situation to do that?
I'm waiting.
Okay. Then Jackson, since you are the inventory guy, do you want to get more food?
I would say we do it just to be safe.
Alrighty. 1 day of food for the ship costs. It's this number divided by this number times this number. 1 day of food costs 5 gold.
5 gold? Okay, maybe
5
it's
gold.
not. Maybe I rethink my earlier statement.
I see.
That's funny.
Always let a couple people starve.
No food?
Yeah, we'll be fine. What are the odds we hit a 12-day storm? Come on.
2 hours later.
We're starving. We're starving.
Alrighty. Cool. Then, if no one else has anything they want to do during that day, Rudol, you are sitting in the cabin. Vezio's sitting across from you. Vezio looks like he always does. You can't tell whether he is unhappy about being here, having his whole day ruined, or whether he doesn't care at all, because he's just staring at you. And you hear Crab's voice in your head. How's it going?
I want to fall over.
Yes. It's to be expected. I assume it wasn't going well in there.
No, he dominated the argument. I couldn't say a thing. I couldn't even form a coherent argument.
Have you been formally placed under brig holding? Are you arrested?
Nothing yet.
Alright, well, if they push to speak with you any further, demand a public crew vote.
Understood.
So, Shaibon, is there anything you want to do today? Lots of hidden drama happening amongst the crew, but you just want to grill.
Go hit some nails.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna talk with like either Adrian or Kaheen about something else, but like, my God, they.
If you want, feel free to talk about something else.
Yeah, man. I'm not busy at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait. I think
Okay.
this is a weird time.
That's fair. That's fair. So
Yeah.
then,
It's just Adrian staring at Rudol, and Rudol who's just not moving and kind of just zoning out.
so yeah, we can cut to like 10 hours later. Rudol passed out at one point, woke back up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let him. I'll let him.
Ooh, actually,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
I know it's a little.
No, it's
I
fine.
forgot about something.
Of course.
How close would you say on this day are we to completing the false floor?
I would say you are exactly 2 days away.
Okay, so that's the amount of days left in the long rest, huh?
I would say that, yeah.
Okay. Are my carpenters still helping me throughout like some parts of the day, but it's mainly me? I'm assuming.
Your new carpenter has been assisting you a lot when, you know, there's not weird shit happening in the captain's cabin, because you're trying to get him caught up on your guys' workflow, but yeah, the other 2 carpenters have just been fucking you off.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I want to. Actually, yeah, that's what I'll bring up with Adrian. I'll go find Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian is probably with the boys, you know, at a bar somewhere along the waterfront.
Okay, then where's Kaheen? Actually, I don't want to disturb his.
Kaheen, what would you be doing at like midday?
These days I am. If I'm not at the Al Serene restaurant, I'm probably just kind of on the ship contemplating.
Okay, well then, Shaibon, you walk forward and you see at the bow of the ship, leaning against the cannon, sort of just staring up at the sky, is Kaheen.
Not against the cannon, I don't trust it.
Okay,
It's got
leaning
little
against the
magic on it.
banister behind the cannon.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Madam Kaheen.
Yes?
I wanted to talk to you about paying my carpenter slightly better. They've been monumental in helping this first floor, as well as with the loss of 2 of the carpenters in the city-states. I don't feel that they are getting properly paid. But that is just a matter I'd like to bring up for my own personal satisfaction of the crew. What are your thoughts?
These are the ones that are getting paid outside of the contract, yes? Or are you trying to increase shares for the ones who have bought in?
I'd like to increase the shares for the ones who have bought in.
Well, it's too little too late at this point. We would have to get the entire crew to re-sign the contract with new numbers that say that they get less coin. So, because they've already agreed to it, I don't really see that happening. If there's something else we could do to help, we could talk about it, but unless you want to go around convincing every last oarsman that they deserve less coin because they don't know how to nail a board together.
Is there a way to perhaps pay them just directly out of the coffers for help on this one request of the false floor? I mean, it is. The rest of the crew has been free to spend their time how they wish, but my carpenter crew, I feel bad for giving them a job and not with the same pay.
Alex, the carpenters, like, they just have one share, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And on a normal day at sea, are carpenters really doing anything, or do they just vibe?
They just vibe.
Yeah. Yes, they've been working all week at port, and when we're at sea, they don't do much. And the oarsmen are the ones that have to work. It's kind of the nature of the job. I don't see what you're so surprised about. Some people have time off when we're at port, and some people have time off when we're at sea.
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't help. I'm sure they're doing good work, but...
No, it's plenty. You'd make a good point that different jobs require different time investments and different breaks.
Alright, very good.
You're something of a spellcaster, correct?
Yes.
We're kind of like alone on like the prow of the ship here.
Yeah, the closest person is Democritus, and he's doing like the thing they do in like choir where they like put their hand out in front of them and are like E-I-O, E-I-O, and he's just doing that next to me.
Doing his little vocal warm up. That's awesome.
I did not know I had this ability when I first talked to Adrian and Rudol about joining the crew, but I guess in my free time I've discovered that I have the potential for magics, and I'll like cast a little arcane hand, or magic hand in front, just a small one, kind of like
describe it.
And
What does your mage hand look like? Because everyone's looks a tiny bit different.
It's very similar to my own hand, where they're very calloused and like thick, but you know, nimble and dexterous, and I have it kind of like this light gray, kind of smoky transparency, while it just like fiddles around with one of the chisels I have in my carpenter's kit.
Yeah.
This is all I'm theoretically capable of, but it feels strange having this capability. What was it like for you when you discovered this power?
First of all, congratulations. You're one of a rare few. I'm kind of surprised that you just had it come about out of nowhere like that, though. My story is quite different. In my culture, there's a coming-of-age ritual in my caravan. You would send many children when they're a dozen years of age or a couple more, would go off into the desert alone for a number of days and then find their own way back as a test for them to be able to survive the deserts without being coddled by the elders. I left with 3 days of food and walked directly the opposite direction, just following the stars. And then I ran out of food and water. And I knew I should go back, but something in that sky kept tugging me a different direction. And I followed it for days on end. And then, when I was too thirsty, I entirely collapsed. I thought I was going to die and that would be it, but then I woke up. And somehow I was right next to an oasis. Food, ripe fruits that had landed right next to me, and water that I could drink. And it was since then that I felt a stronger connection to the stars above and had my powers. So that is my story. I think it's a little more dramatic than yours.
You
It can be a challenging time, but I'm happy to help if you have any specific questions, but it does sound like we are in different circumstances, so I don't know what particular advice I have to offer at the moment.
Do you ever fear the magic you have? Does it ever make you scared of the fact that you harness it at all?
No. It was given to me by the blessed stars, and I trust them with my life. They saved me, and I know that although it took me time to learn to wield the magic, know that I will use it for good. And although I don't know you too well, I size you up as someone who will do the same. Unlike other members of this ship.
There's something to like about that. Well, thank you for the good advice. As different as the scenarios are. I'll give a little nod and walk away.
I'll pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah, you walk past
we'll fight
Democritus.
smile, but-
He's finished his vocal warm-ups, and now he is doing tongue twisters. And you make your way to the captain's quarters to continue your work. So, 10 hours from now, Rudol's napped. Vezio's gotten him food and water. Vezio will go and find you, and he won't say a word. He'll just sort of hook his thumb in the direction of the captain's cabin. Yeah.
Alright, I'll gather the other two up.
Kaheen and Unios, or?
Kaheen and Georg. So
Okay.
they want to be there, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, you gather together Kaheen.
Is
and
Unios
Georg.
not coming?
I did. Jackson, did you say you wanted to be there?
I didn't, but I would.
Unfortunately, he hasn't
think I
unlocked
would've
Psycho. Yeah, the ability to read
Yeah,
minds.
I don't think I would have brought you back if you hadn't said anything.
No telepathy.
Yeah, it's just the two of them.
Alrighty, you gather the two of them and make your way to the captain's cabin.
All right. Fuck. Let's do this. Hopefully he's better. Open the door and head on in. How are you feeling, Rudol?
I think his face is just like directly in the food, asleep.
Okay.
Oh god.
He's probably had enough time. I'll go and gently shake his shoulder. Rudol? Oh, there you go. I'll, is there food all over his face?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll hand him a napkin to wipe his. There you go. Wipe yourself off with that.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you wipe off the right-hand side of your face. Nice veal and rice sort of just falls off your face onto the napkin.
Feeling any better? I'll sit down across from you.
No.
Are you less wired? What's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have some water. Slide in the glass.
Yeah, I am dehydrated.
I
He
fucking
starts
imagine so.
slurping and sucking, bro. He's guzzling down the water.
You remember any of the conversation we had?
No. No, not at all.
All right. Kaheen followed you when you went on your little foray a few nights ago.
Foray? What
Yeah, when
happened?
you went out and danced out in the middle of the middle.
I
of the
what?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you
By the stars, he is lying.
I suppose you don't remember
Yeah,
it, but you
actually,
already admitted.
This is
You
to be fair.
already
This
admitted
is
to doing this.
roll a deception check, Rudol.
Oh, I suppose yes. That's a good point.
Because him admitting it while he's high doesn't say much about. It
That's
doesn't
true,
really say
that's
anything
true.
about sober Rudol.
Can I roll an active insight check into this?
Yeah,
as well?
sure, that's fine.
Oh.
That's pretty damn good.
Can I?
Sure.
Yes,
I'm just
feel-
gonna say if
feel
you
the
pass though,
insight.
and Adrian doesn't, I don't know if that's gonna look too good, but yeah, just insight. Yeah.
Can I do it too?
Oh yeah, I mean
You're all
already
here.
done. Yeah, sure. Feel free.
I might as well.
You got the whole gang. That's so funny. Yeah, Shaibon elsewhere in the ship just did the most beautiful dovetail joint ever. Yeah, I think for
So,
Adrian,
can I?
Yeah.
I am going to interpret this as he doesn't remember that he already admitted to it.
No, he doesn't remember at all.
That's not what he said, so I don't think that's. I think with the 13, I don't know if that's a fair interpretation. For like Kaheen, I think that's totally fair because she basically met it, or like
Okay.
Georg. But I think with 13, I think the vibe you get is, you've seen plenty. I mean, Georg has blacked out before. Like he just does that semi-regularly when you guys are bored as a crippling alcoholic. So I don't think the story of him blacking out is incredulous to you. I think to Kaheen, to you, it is very incredulous. It's like obvious that he's just saying it. And then for you, Georg, Aaron, do you have any thoughts with the 16? I mean, you're pretty close. It's not like you were completely believe him, but there is some room for doubt. How do you think Georg would interpret it?
Probably try and think about how I felt when I was blackout drunk and how the experience I would have like right after waking up and being.
Okay, yeah, severe grogginess.
Yeah, severe grogginess is probably how I would interpret it.
Okay, all right then. I think that's how each of you interpret it.
Okay.
He is lying.
About?
Kaheen is saying that, what, 3 nights ago? 2 nights ago? I'm looking at Kaheen.
3.
3 nights ago, she followed you after you left the ship after sundown. And she watched you as you danced in a park for 8 hours straight. And then, what, Keen, you said the shadows got darker. It shouldn't have been happening because it was sunup, and it got extraordinarily cold for just a moment.
Yes. And he collapsed.
And then he collapsed.
Okay. And these are serious charges?
They're not charges of any kind.
Right.
She's saying you did this. Do you deny it?
I don't remember doing anything of the sort. So yeah, I deny them.
Have you been using Hellflake for the past few days? Rudol, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. You
I-
can do whatever you want in your week off. I could care less about that.
I wanted to... I felt the distance. Really. Yeah. Sorry, I just heard the shit from my mic. It startled me. I wanted to. I sensed the. I've been treated different.
Yeah.
And I know it's not entirely anyone's fault, but I wanted to impress people with that repeater. I was so proud to tell you about that. I wanted to be useful. I wanted to come into the captain's quarters like I normally did and have people look at me with like how they used to.
Oh my god.
Wait, you're. What do you
I
mean?
asked Crab for some fire moss, just because I thought if I got it done faster, I could prove that I was efficient enough to be who I still am.
What if you
Captain.
fused the cannons quick enough?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're talking about? Oh, okay. All right.
Is it even done?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
The planning is what took
Well-
most of the time. The actual infusion takes about an hour.
Okay. You come in here with some sad story. Well, you're not popular anymore after you made a deal with the hag and admitted to it in front of everybody.
What was I supposed to do?
You know what you did.
Lie to my friends?
Not make a deal with a hag.
You don't know anything about me, Kaheen. Why are you judging me?
I know enough.
You know nothing.
Because you openly made a deal with a creature that you know nothing about. And now you're all of a sudden doing drugs, falling asleep in front of us, stammering, admitting to crimes that I saw you do, and then trying to take it back in your sobriety.
Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing.
What? What? You
Wait,
you
what?
admit that?
Wait.
No, it's called sarcasm, guys. It's called sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna take that one back because I just stopped listening halfway through to Kaheen.
I mean, dude, I don't know if that's a reason because I feel like people stopped listening to that halfway through.
No.
Okay, all right.
Crazy. That's.
We'll toss it up to he misspoke.
I think we'll say he misspoke.
He misspoke.
Absolutely insane.
Well, yes, I do admit that I was lying before, and them just actually admitted to it, and them taking back my claims in sobriety.
He
Got his ass.
Guys. He's supposed to be like Kira from Death.
Alright,
He's
yeah,
not supposed to be misspeaking.
Alright. I would imagine you're trying to say no, you didn't.
Bro, hit him with the boom womp.
Womp womp.
So then, how would Rudol actually respond to that list of like 7 allegations?
I think he would just go. What? That's it. It's just
Okay,
like
just what?
stammering and just like
Yeah.
confusion.
I'm going to court with that one.
So, you don't necessarily deny you left the ship and danced for 8 hours. You just don't remember? You don't remember doing that.
I would argue I didn't. I mean, like, I'm above dancing in the street.
I mean, not on Hellflake, you were. You did admit to doing that while on Hellflake. I'm going to tell you this.
You want to roll with these allegations? Then sure, we'll go with that.
I mean, you admitted to it while on Hellflake. So, I am going to take it with a grain of salt, but this seems like something you did while you were on Hellflake anyway. So, it's like Hellflake you and you aren't quite communicating then.
Captain, you cannot be taking this seriously. At the very least, if he is willing to do Hellflake for what, the greater good of the ship, and then go, commit some awful deed, and then lie, and then admit to it, and then come back and say that it was because of the drugs, that at least makes him unfit. Even if you believe everything he is saying, he is still unfit to lead.
Unfit? How dare you? I've done nothing but everything for this ship. And you come at me?
Yes.
Rudol, around this time, you will receive another mental note from Crab, which I guess, funnily enough, if anyone looked, they'd just see Crab casually sitting next to the mast, pointing his finger in the direction of the cabin so he can message Cantrip. But he is going to message Cantrip and just say, public vote.
Yeah, I was about to get to that. I was like, I demand a public vote.
Rudol, I'm discussing removing you from your bosun's position. That's not something I need a public vote to do.
Yes, and I think you should at least do me the service of having a public vote if you were even... I mean, we've been friends for what, 5 years? You can at least get the message from the people. I mean, you're surely willing just to spend 3,000 pence for some incense for Kaheen, but no, when it comes to public votes, it has to be your choice, I guess.
Do you want me to get the charter for you, Rudol? Want me to show
I
you
know
where
the
it
charter.
says I don't have to
I
do
know
this?
the charter. I'm saying you could at least do me the service as a friend of getting me a public vote.
They are not privy to the things we are as officers. Although I suppose...
Ethan, if you don't mind, I would... These are going to sound like leading questions, but I swear they're not. I just want to know what Adrian's thought process is here.
Yep.
So, you've called public votes for things in the past that I would say are pretty minor. Things like, do we want to hire this guy? Like the surgeon, things like that. You don't call votes for battle decisions. That's obvious. You're the Supreme Commander. That's literally your job. In a case like this, where you're right, this is kind of privileged information, but presumably if you're firing him, the whole crew would know it anyways. What are the pros and cons for not making a public vote?
It mostly depends on the result, right? So if he does get voted out by the crew, it will basically demolish his reputation.
Which it will be demolished anyways, because you're going to have to find some reason why you removed him from his position.
Yes. The upside
These
is
are
that
leading questions. DM is on
I literally said in advance, they're going to sound leading. I'm just curious, because
No, it's good. I do have to like think this out before deciding whether or not to.
First he makes
And
crab,
I mean, the reason I can think
then
why
he
you
talks
wouldn't want
in
to
voice
put this
of
to
God.
public vote is that your position as captain isn't secure. If this does come down to like 2/3 of the crew vote for Rudol to stay, he could turn that on you and say, hey, maybe Adrian isn't fit to be captain. And if he has the mob mentality of 2/3 of the votes, you're gone. Like, it doesn't take some crazy, thing. The ship's charter gives room for, let me double check what you guys agreed on. Yeah, 2/3 of the crew is what it takes. So if somehow maybe he could use that to stir the crowd into a frenzy. I mean, I'll be honest, Rudol doesn't seem like a crazy order, but that is a risk.
Yeah.
I don't know. The main reason if this was like a random position, like sailmaker, I think it's less of an argument. But when it is one of the senior officers, I think it's worth considering.
Have I been in this scenario before during any of my voyages ever?
There were times that senior officers were removed from their positions, but they were just killed on the spot during the first arc, because there were several traitors amongst the crew, but there was no debate or discussion. Because they were fish people.
Oh, that could work.
He's not a fish person.
No, we could kill him on the spot.
Oh, Pog.
He's also a hag person now.
That's not.
So, you know.
I don't mean like they worshipped fish. I mean, you remember that they were literal fish.
They did worship fish.
Yeah, but they were also actual fish.
You were playing crab, and you were just like, they showed us it, and you were okay with it. And you were
That
just like,
is
yeah, all
true,
right.
yeah.
We don't need to bring back when I was new to roleplay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Crab probably would be okay with that.
That's true.
He's insane.
But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well-
I think that's all. I was just curious why you wouldn't vote on it, but
Rudol,
have
as much that Kaheen has talked against you, she has never actually lied. On the flip side, Kaheen, as much
Yes.
as Rudol has done, he hasn't lied either.
Except for now. But
Sure.
fine.
Therefore, I'm disinclined to simply remove him from his position immediately because of a he said, she said. What I think is
Alright.
maybe a good compromise is moving Unios to the position of Bosun's mate. Rudol, it would be so that we have someone to keep an eye on you. But they are also your assistant. So you will have the authority over them. And you won't actually, you won't have to do what they say or anything like that.
Sure.
And it would give someone to help you out, right?
I-
But I want to make it very clear. This is also so that we can keep an eye on you. Can you see how my trust in you was eroded by you making a pact with a creature we know nothing about?
I understand that.
Okay.
I'll tell you later. You're
Please.
not in a position to listen.
I feel like I am. That's what I'm doing to you right now.
I can leave the room if you need privacy.
I prefer if you did.
Alright then.
Understood.
Mhm.
Come find me when
Yeah.
I welcome again, but this is a reasonable request, and I'll head out.
I'm off. Just head out.
okay.
Good idea.
Good old gay work.
I'm just sipping alcohol in the corner. I see you guys talking. Alright,
it
I'm out.
just reminds me
Alright,
of when
Jackson.
you were captain of the ship.
Oh,
and,
let's
like,
go. He's probably thinking of dancing. Yes, I did. No. Yes, again. No, I was high. I did not. I can't dance. I was dancing. I already said no.
That's a good one. That's a good answer. Yeah, it just reminds me of when Aaron was captain of the Defiance because Ethan's character was incapacitated, and Georg would just be like, what do you guys think is best? It was so funny. He was like
classic.
the ultimate democratic captain. It was so good. Alright, so...
We've had a lot of democracy on this ship.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, despite all the slavery and shit, it's sort of like a workers' co-op? Yeah, workers' co-op.
Oh, there you go.
We need
So-
less democracy, more Democritus.
True.
Oh no, Lord help us all.
That's Mars. That's
Alright,
Mars.
so now it is just Rudol and, Adrian.
Adrian, have I ever told you what happened to my family as I place my signet ring on the table?
Dark backstory moment. No, he's a hurt person.
Let him cook.
You
Sorry,
have before.
sorry. Look, I'm not in the room.
Yeah. It fades in and out sometimes, but Rudol, before you go on, you need to make sure of one thing. You are not using your less than ideal childhood or backstory to justify making a pact with a hag. Is that where this is going?
She said she would help me find them.
While I can sympathize, I absolutely can. I was abandoned by my parents when I was young. The facts are the facts. Doesn't matter why you did it. All that matters is that it happened, and that erodes my trust in you. It erodes the crew's trust in you.
Oh, dude, he's too fucking based.
What?
He's
just said
too
We have-
based.
We've known each other a while.
Are you back to admitting it?
No, no.
No, this is out of character.
No, no.
Do you think Rudol would jump out of his chair and be
Yes,
like, dude, he's too
based.
fucking based?
Two-faced?
Yes, I do. I do think that.
I
think
also
exactly
think that. Anyways, continue, Ethan.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to remove you from your position. I'm going to put Unios under you to help you and to keep an eye on you. Alright?
Okay.
That's all it is. Please, do not let me down.
I won't.
And whether Kaheen is making it up or not, she will be keeping a very close eye on you as well. I don't think there's anything I or you or anyone can do about that. And she will tell me. Even if it's something Unios misses, she will see it. And she will tell me.
Understood.
You're on your... We don't have baseball, so I can't make that.
No, of course.
This is
You
your
have a
last chance.
stickball, infamous in the city of Zuri.
Yeah. If only I was from Zuri.
If only.
I don't want to be in this situation again.
I understand.
Alright. And next time, do less hellplay. Alright? I don't think you got anything productive done. Maybe
Well, let's
yeah,
check.
start with less. Start with less.
Okay.
Alright. You okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I am.
Elsewhere on the ship, Crab smiles. So, we are going to skip a little bit forward in time, because I don't think, and this is a broad question for all of you, in the next 2 days, is there anything that any of you would like to do in the city?
Leave.
That's what I expected.
I'm
is
actually
there-
going to go look for a hag to make a deal with. Are there any hags around?
Ooh, unfortunately not.
You cannot go to the Department of Hags.
I'm gonna try Hellfire.
That's for citizens only.
Dude, that would honestly be funny. Is as soon as Adrian left the
Party-wide
cabin,
Hellflake edition.
everyone was on Hellfire.
All right.
I do have one inquiry.
Sure. Feel free.
Is there like somewhere centralized that says what ships are leaving when and like their cargo?
Yeah, Harbor Master.
Things of that nature. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
It's a bit Doja. If the question is there some centralized, the answer is yes.
Oh, he's right.
I'm just wondering, is it suspicious if I go up to the Harbor Master and I'm like, oh, what ships are leaving and where are they
Yes.
heading and what's their cargo? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you could just hire someone to do it for you. But
Does that look doesn't it look suspicious no matter who does it?
yeah, but if it's a random street urchin, then I mean they could link it back to you, but maybe hire 6 of them if you really want to, and only you get the information from one of them. I don't know. There's ways to get around this if you really want to.
Yeah.
I'm not that invested in it. We're
It's
probably
like
not
that
doing
scene in the
shit.
Clone Wars.
Do I want you to elaborate?
Which one?
No.
It's when Palpatine
Okay.
hires Boba Fett and Boba Fett hires a bounty hunter and the bounty
yeah,
hunter hires a robot and the
yeah.
robot hires some worms.
That's good.
Yeah, I get
That's good. Okay. So the night before
We're gonna get copyright
the-
struck.
True. The night before the ship leaves. This is the evening before. You guys are leaving on July 3rd. July 2nd, that evening, Democritus is hosting his grand reading of the Windsail and the Living Gale. Do any of you do not want to attend?
I want to attend.
No, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you doing to not attend, Unios? Are you just going to the bottom fold and plugging your ears and screaming, or are you going to?
I'm gonna go down, but I'll probably like still be able to hear it, and maybe I'll enter later if I get
Yeah,
pissed
it's
off.
like those memes where it's like your parents arguing in the background, like muffled. You just hear Democritus on the top deck, just muffled
God.
talking. All right.
Shitty YouTube videos.
Yeah, yeah. You guys, so the group that has come out to listen to Democritus is actually quite large because despite, you know, his goofy nature, he's actually pretty good at different stories. It's kind of his whole thing. He's not good at most instruments, but he is pretty good at stories. So gathering atop in the forecastle, there's a crowd of about 30 members of the Defiance's crew. Alongside all the debt slaves are, you know, on the lower deck listening. So they don't really have much of a choice in the matter. Democritus has a different costume than usual. He has a black suit with a white ruffled neck piece. He has a floppy hat that is also black, and he wears gloves. The only thing visible is his face, which is wizened and aged, but starting to get that sort of sailor's tan to it, and his long white beard. And he stands up.
Watching this?
Is Crab watching it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And Democritus stands up and says, "Greetings, and welcome to Democritus's performance and interpretation of the classic sailor's tale, The Windsail and the Living Gale." And he gestures to a small, maybe 12-year-old boy next to him who begins to pound on some drums. It's sort of just establishing a bass rhythm in the background. And then Democritus raises his arm. "Once, a beautiful ship sailed the ocean." Democritus's hand curls inward. He speaks words, his eyes flash with light, and a massive 20-foot ship appears in the sky above the deck. The ship is incredibly detailed, a long swooping hull, and the sailors on the back of the ship have slightly pointed ears. The ship bears no weapons, but it looks sleek and it looks swift. "The ship was called the Windsail, for even the mighty spirit of the wind could not prevent it from going where it wished." You hear the sound of tearing winds, and yet the sails of the Windsail do not change. A captain stands at the prow of the ship, looking out towards a distant horizon. "One, amongst the spirits of the wind, took offense at the way the Windsail moved. He thought it arrogant, and could he truly be considered wrong? So, when the next storm came, the Living Gale joined his fellow spirits. While they attempted to buffet the sails of the vessel backwards, the Living Gale was cruel. He attempted to tear into the sails, push the ship to the side, and even flip it entirely. And shrieking winds echo across the deck of the Defiance, sounding like screams. The Windsail is buffeted side to side, consumed by a storm. However, the Windsail and its crew were of sterner stuff. Its sail did not tear. It did not turn from its course, nor could the grand vessel be tipped by something as minor as a wind. So the captain of the Windsail marched to its prow as the storm raged. He extended his hands, pointing into the storm. The rest of the Windsail disappears. All focus of this 20-foot large illusion is just one man, a proud face, an arrogant face. He sneers at the winds itself, even as the winds push back his hair and make him squint. The captain declared to the winds, "Ye have no purchase on me. It is I who have mastered you." The Living Gale was angered by this, so rather than go after the mighty ship, the Living Gale went for its captain. The illusion above shifts, and it shows the captain so frail compared to his mighty ship, flung overboard. For the briefest moments, you seem to see a face in the wind as it tears the captain down, a face filled with rage. One by one, the crew fell from its ship. Some were flung from its deck. Others were dragged up from the lower hull, screaming and clawing all the way. But eventually, the storm ended. The scene above the deck changes and zooms out. It now shows a harbor of a city, a vague skyline of tall spires. The Windsail has its sails out, and so the wind carries it, but no one walks the deck of it. Empty, the ship went into the harbor. And while the crew of the Windsail paid for its arrogance, the Living Gale is still out there, waiting for another man to declare himself greater than the wind. A cackle echoes across the deck, and then the moonlights of blue, which you hadn't even noticed, fade out. Democritus stands, and he gives a bow. The end.
I'll start clapping.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
most of us do, yeah. That was-
Yeah, there's
that was
a pretty
genuinely
positive
impressive.
response from the crew. He is a bard with an 11 in performance, so yeah, he put his all into that over the last week. And people will come up to him and be like, "Hey, can I see that captain again?" Because he still has his major image. He'll show, you know, the proud elven captain or the shrieking face of the wind. And for the next, 5-10 minutes, it'll just be, congratulations and people just realizing that despite all of his shenanigans, he's actually a pretty good bard.
Yes, he is. I forget that a lot of the time.
It's very easy
Dude,
to
that's
forget.
horrible news, man. Democritus is good at his job. That's
The worst man you know does his job pretty well.
Such a good format.
Is
Yeah.
it past dinner time at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will invite him and the other officers, and I still want to hear the Hound of a Par tale. It sounded quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah, you can invite him
to
for
tell
some
that as
drinks
well.
afterward. Now that he's actually finished the thing he was working on, he'll start, basically enjoying Portleaf for the very last night that you're here. Because he spent the whole
That's why
time
he was
going.
doing the vocal warm-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if you watch the last 2 episodes, there's like little glimpses of Democritus that make his whole story for the time of the port leave. Because he was like earlier, he was going around pretending to be a busker because he was trying to gather different sailing stories from like bards of the city. And his favorite one was that one. But yeah, he'll join you guys in the captain's cabin, and the summary, because it's actually a pretty long story, but the summary of the Hound of Apar and the Dragon of Dracus is there is this prince, this brave hero who fought foreign invaders. However, evil festered within his own party, and one of them transformed into a dragon. And so this noble knight, this prince of Apar, slew the vile dragon, but his city fell while he was distracted, and he was forced to flee his home, never to return again.
Wait a fucking second.
It's a good amount of artistic license he took with that.
Yeah. But with that,
I
Is
just
this-
realized.
Was that Ethan's other character?
Riemann.
was.
Riemann.
No, that wasn't Riemann, dude. Nope, different character.
no,
Oh,
it was
wait.
Aeolion.
Aeolion. Fuck.
There you go. Oh, I see. Wrong name, not wrong character.
But with that, your long rest is concluded. So feel free to take all the things associated with that if you don't already have them. Spells.
Wait, isn't this supposed to be an old tale that he was telling us?
Which one?
The one he just...
The
Oh,
living
sorry.
sa-
I
yeah.
just put it right.
Yeah,
I
the
forgot
Living
this was a
Sail was the
separate
old
story.
one, yeah. The Living Gale. Damn. So yeah, while we're doing the long rest, does anyone have anything to do for long rest? You guys are all chilling, I'm guessing, right? You already...
I leveled
your
up.
shit? Oh. Yo, congrats!
You leveled up?
Based.
I'm level 4.
It's easier to level
Oh,
up when you
wait.
start at level 3. Dingus.
Hold on. Do I level up? Maybe
I-
not.
No,
Maybe not.
because I got...
Are you like level 7?
No, I'm level.
No, it's...
I'm level
They got
3.
You guys don't level up.
Vampire
Yeah.
I got Vampire XP and you guys didn't because you guys didn't realize how shrimple it was to kill a vampire last
That
night.
Right.
is true.
Right. I remember now. I was literally like 200 XP away.
Yeah. Cool. There is a very small point of order as we are prepping to leave the city, which is that Unios, you are now the bosun's mate. So congratulations
yeah.
for that.
When would they have told me that? 'Cause
That's
I
the
was
thing.
kind of pissed about that.
Tomorrow, the next morning before we leave, I will call you in first. Just you.
All right.
Unios, we're making you bosun's mate.
Wait, I'm not even gonna be there to like.
Nope, just him first.
Yo.
You
Yeah,
are
that's why I
making
said
me
Get there, yeah, you'll get
Alright. Fair.
making me to the bosun's mate for the hag worshipping half-elf drug addict.
Yes, that's.
Right before
say
we
half.
cross the...
I'll say half of the reason that I'm making you that is so you can keep an eye on him directly, ensure that he does not influence or conduct himself inappropriately.
So am I still
In
meant
terms
to
of
follow his
leadership.
orders?
You are, but if you genuinely think he's doing something against the best interests of the ship, I want you to come directly to me.
I do. He is worshipping a hag and coming to meetings on drugs.
Yeah. I meant more specifically.
What is
Specific actions he takes,
well,
especially in the
according
in the conduct of his duties, more specifically.
Do you believe removing me as assistant navigator is wise right before crossing the Hammer's Fall?
I've talked to Kaheen about it already. She seems to think she can make do without you. She was in support of this idea as well.
Well, if you believe that I can keep this foolish man from doing more dangerous, stupid things than he's already done, I suppose.
A hard
it's better
task, I
than-
know.
Yes.
Really
Suppose
All right,
just
we'll have to
the
wait
adjectives.
Just
We'll have to wait until he signs a statement of confession to actually do anything about him.
well, yes, essentially, yeah. Just keep in mind, if you do it too often, you'll start to somewhat lose credibility. Or
Well,
if you do it-
apparently not, given that he has not lost any credibility to remain bosun.
All right then.
Eric, what's a bosun's mate do?
Yeah, so the role of the bosun is essentially general ship maintenance, as well as the well-being of the crew, the general welfare. The first mate is a bit too intimidating for some people to approach, so the bosun is supposed to be the everyday man that can be talked to by any member of the crew. So the bosun's mate is even more the everyday man, because he's even less stressful to talk to, and it is your duty to essentially assist officers with tasks where they need it, and convey the general attitudes of the crew to the captain, so it can influence his decision making.
Jesus fuck, we chose the three worst people possible to do these jobs.
We have a raging alcoholic, a demon worshiper, and Unios just feels.
A 6 charisma racist.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that though, that does change some out-of-game duties regarding the spreadsheet. Benjamin, you now have your duties increased. The storage sheet is now yours.
Oh, my Excel sheet.
If you want, you can still manage it if you want to, but you don't have to. If you like dungeons and spreadsheets, I'd be more than happy to share it with you.
I do.
Okay,
But I won't
Jackson will keep
actually
track
want
of
it
the
running
other
the
boards.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I want Cook Ben if he wants to. Yeah.
I don't think he wants to.
No. If you want to run the spreadsheet, I'm more than fine with that.
Alrighty, spreadsheet gang. Alright, so with that,
Yeah, and then I
think-
suppose I'll call Rudol in and tell him that we.
yeah, you told him that before, unless you want to play through it, Blake. Do you want to play through it and tell you that you have a new bosun's mate?
No.
Okay, great. Oh, you do have a new officer thing,
Blake's gonna
Unios?
deny.
Which you should add to your sheet. It's somewhere in the document I just shared. I think.
Blake's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't remember talking about that."
Yeah,
enough.
real.
So skill check or tool check, which is navigator's tools. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Teeth and cope, Benjamin.
That was,
Dude, I am.
I don't know what that was, but that was beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna go to the world map now because our week of rest has concluded. The crew is chilling and vibing. Obviously, I don't.
There is one other specific instruction I'd like to give to you guys.
Sure.
see if you can get the crew's vibe on how much they trust Rudol to perform his duties now. Because as Alex was going over the specific Bosun's duties, I realized how degraded Rudol's reputation, especially relating to his actual job, might be. So yeah, I'd like you to get a general consensus on that.
That's my job.
Yes, that
Okay,
the specific thing I want you to do, in addition to keeping an eye on him, is get a
Alright, get a read.
yes.
See what the plebs
Exactly.
think of him. Yeah.
Literally yes, because then I can just give him the boot without having to call the vote, and I will know that if he really, really demands it, and I do it anyway, he will still get the boot, or he won't.
Alright.
Sick.
Okay, cool. So, with that, the Defiance has its anchor lifted, and I'm not going to quantify the morale of the crew, because I don't think it's great to do it that way, but I will tell you, general vibes, impeccable. Gert has been spreading the word that the ship has received all the blessings. The performance of Democritus is very well received. There is a very small bookkeeping thing we need to do real quick, which is you need to pay out the people who get paid on a monthly basis. So, Jackson, can you subtract 15 gold from the ship's coffers?
Yep.
Great. I think that is it. So, I'm now going to hide the token of the Defiance. And, Benjamin, where are we going?
We are going, I think directly west, straight shot.
Okay. Alrighty then. One sec. Need to pull up all the travel rules real quick.
We don't want to get to the next town before we jump, just to make the jump easier.
You're not supposed to do that, apparently. They don't have, a good, port in Flamium for some reason.
Which feels bizarre.
It does feel bizarre, but, I trust Alex as a world builder to know that there's gotta be some wacky historical reason for it.
You know what's funny? They went here in the other campaign in Pax with Dojiko 5 years later, and Ethan literally said that exact, everything you just said, both the that's weird, but, and he kept asking, and he kept saying, out of character, I should ask these townfolk why there's no port here. And he just, was too busy doing the actual investigation, so I never got around to it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I was just checking one of the travel rules thing.
It's, positioned perfect for it.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's the shortest journey.
I'm almost 100% sure it's some weird bureaucratic reason or some reason having to do with the light force or something like that.
Yeah, it really all does come back to that, doesn't it? It's either bureaucracy or some ancient historical war that's long forgotten. Okay, cool. Then we are going to get two Navigator's Tools checks, and I'm gonna roll for some weather. Ethan, are we going normal, fast, or slow?
Normal. Are we traveling to Flamium first, or are we making the cross? Not stopping there, but just going to that location and then crossing? Was that the Is that normal for?
Just crossing at Ravinium?
Yeah. Or
yeah, that is normal.
Okay. Yeah.
I realize this very small rules thing. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break and we'll be right back. So yeah,
okay.
I need to fix something real quick. So
Hey YouTube chat.
I'm gonna go to the intermission screen. Back into it. We're crossing the Hammer's Fall. We have our two navigators checks. They are a 22 and a 7. There was some mechanical questions, but now we are headed westward. We're going to change up the music a little bit because no longer are we on an exciting adventure into the unknown. This is a known area, and it's fucking dangerous. So we're going to change things up just a little bit. And on our first day, right after leaving Ravinium, we go west. What you guys find is a unique weather condition. On the southern coast of eastern Valeros, fog is relatively rare. Here in the Hammer's Fall, weirdly enough, fog banks appear, which fog banks in the open ocean are incredibly rare. This is in real life. They're almost unheard of. They're very rare because they would typically require land. Here in the Hammer's Fall, though, fog is just one of many, arguably supernatural threats. So as you head westward, instantly, rain begins to pelt the deck of the Defiance. Wind is light, slowing your progress, and you guys find yourselves obscured within a dense fog bank. But your direction continues all the same. Beyond that, you lose sight of land after the first couple hours of the day, and I think that is all for now. Nothing of interest happens during that day either.
Do you need a helmsman check?
I forgot about that. Yes, I do. It's been a little bit. It's been
You can
2
add.
weeks.
I can spare you one of my nav die right now.
Well, we can also do that
So whatever
after
that
I
is, it'd
roll,
be-
right?
You can indeed do that after, yeah.
Wait, Alex,
Uh,
can I
okay.
to the helmsman rolls? Can I just add a d6 every time he does it?
Do you have a proficiency with the helm of a ship?
Water vehicles proficiency? Probably not.
No, that's not what that is.
No, it's specifically
right.
the role of helmsman aboard the vessel.
That's that thing. This thing that I have, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Oh no, oh yeah, I have sailing
have one.
abilities.
Oh, do you specifically have helmsman as one of your things?
Oh no,
Alrighty.
I have gunner, carpenter, and rigger.
Yep, that makes sense. Oh, we have cannons now, also.
Let's
Why
go.
Can I not? Why can I not put? Oh no, that was weird. Okay.
Cross channel?
It wasn't letting me like type a plus sign in the
Oh, very
command
odd.
for a moment. 15.
I will say with heavy fog, pretty hard to go in a straight line. And so yeah,
I'll take
it's
a,
like trying to
I'll
help
take-
you adjust throughout the day, but you're having.
I'll
hard
take
time
a
maintaining your
D4.
directions.
I'll take a D4 from Peen then.
Okay.
So 17.
Are you satisfied with that result?
Yeah.
All right, that is a failure. So roll me a d4.
Damn it. Fuck. I suppose only way to know. It's
So,
one.
order of operations, Kaheen charts this course. You try to maintain this course, but you fail to maintain the course Kaheen leaves before you. And, oh no. The following day,
Uh-oh.
you guys, as, well, let's see what the weather will look like. Jackson, remove 1 day of food, 1 day of, oh, sorry. We don't want to forget about this. You gain. So, Jackson, step 1, you gain 4 days of water. Step 2, subtract 1 ration and 1 day of grog. There we go.
Am I using our wacky calculator at all?
The wacky calculator there is just to tell you how many things of water to add when you do it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's subtracting a day of grog, adding 4 days of water.
Water, subtracting a day of rations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's a rough day. Night Watch spots nothing. You guys are still in this fog bank, though it's a different one than you started in. And the next morning, as the weather is changing, it changes for the worse. The fog lifts, and what you see above you is an angry, dark sky. And worse, you see a coastline to your north. You have no fucking idea where you are. You shouldn't see anything, because you didn't see anything when you first entered that fog bank. Now to your north is a rocky, sort of like mountainous area. Well, not really mountainous, but just sort of like bluffs. And above you is a storm, and it is starting to buffet the ship hard. So, this is a bit unconventional. We're not going to roll navigator's checks today, because today you are consumed by a storm. Ethan, you are the captain.
Yeah.
Make
Yep.
a charisma check you are proficient in to just get the crew through the first hour or so of this storm.
Okay.
Hold on. Can I Flash of Genius it?
I believe so, yes. I think it does Flash of Genius apply to
If
ability
it-
checks?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Well, let me put it in chat just to make sure.
Ability check or saving throw.
Yep. Sounds good to me. So Ethan, what do you think?
Reaction.
Persuasion, intimidation?
Yeah, we're gonna go with persuasion on this first one. Intimidation. would
Does that
probably
mean
be
I could also add? It's only
20.
Okay, do you want to still add it on?
I
Not you. Blake, do you still
Yeah.
want to give him your intelligence mod?
Hold on.
Hold on, I gotta turn Blake down. He's
Does
on
that
the
mean I could
other
add? I might just do my bosun thing because it is a skill check.
Yep.
So you could just add a d6 to that. I won't use a flash of genius.
Cool.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Are we good with that? We don't want to do any. I'm just trying to make sure anyone knows wacky adaptive features can use theirs.
Can I add
Alright.
something?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys have. That's why I'm asking.
All friendly creatures? Yeah, that doesn't apply to me. Nope. Unless
Okay,
I can
great.
do Captain's Presence on myself.
No, you cannot. So, the storm begins to buffet your vessel, and now you successfully manage to prevent the morale from lowering. You're running along the ship, you're yelling, "Batten down the hatches, lower the sails, keep the anchor down." And that's the sort of like, that's the captain's role, to keep the ship in functioning. But now, the rest of you have roles. The main disadvantage of if the captain had failed his persuasion would be some of you wouldn't really get the chance to act because the ship would be in chaos. But we're going to go person by person. Aaron, the ship is being buffeted with wind and rain. There's a chance of people getting knocked overboard, losing equipment, the ship itself being damaged. Can you think of what your role would be in fixing the ship? Or not just fixing it, but keeping it functioning? What are you thinking?
As the first mate, I'd probably be running around, just helping out with like, mainly probably like keeping the sails intact and leading people away from like hazardous things, keeping an eye on them.
Okay, roll me a perception check then. I think that would best apply to the description you just gave. And just while he's rolling that, just to describe what we're doing right now is we're going to do a party-wide check, and we're looking for majority successes, if not all successes, to minimize any damage to the vessel today. So, Georg,
Alex?
Yes,
I am asleep.
you are indeed asleep. Because you are the captain of the night
So
watch.
do I wake up or do I do the check?
I think with the persuasion on Adrian, yes, you'll wake up and get a chance to act. So, Georg, you keep an eye out. You manage to prevent some crates from falling overboard. Kaheen, what is your contribution to the vessel? As you're rousted from slumber by the captain's shouts, what are you doing to keep it functioning? What skill do you think would help here?
I've got helmsman proficiency, so I think I would like go make sure that the ship is not like steering away while Adrian's running around doing other shit.
Okay, great. D20 plus 1d4 plus, let's say, strength mod, I think would best apply here.
That's a -1.
I'm sorry about that.
Bless you.
While,
Bless you.
while Ben's rolling that, Unios, what are you doing to contribute to the vessel as the storm bears down?
I don't know. I suppose I would look to Mr. Rudol, or what the hell we're supposed to be doing.
Okay, Rudol, how are you and your mate assisting the vessel as the storm pounds against it?
So that would just be like assisting the groups of men who need it. So that would be the forecastle men, the top men, the carpenter crew.
Sure, what are you doing to assist them?
Well, I'd help the top men with rigging. I'd run down and help the the carpenters with like plugging holes. I'd probably like
Sure, pick one of those tasks
the whole
that you
time.
want to assist with.
I'll do the top men because I believe in Shaiban.
Great, D20 plus your dex mod plus your sailing die for rigging. Unios, what are you doing?
Rudol, will you order me to go one of the other ones, or because otherwise I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go with you.
Yeah.
Can you help the forecaster men?
Yeah.
Alright, that'll be a D20 plus strength mod, and do you have any sort of special thing with like tying ropes or anything like that? Any relevant skills to that? Yeah. Alright, then just D20, so strength check basically. Shaiban, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be doing the making sure the boat stays intact and gonna be on a constant watch and ordering my carpenter crew to fix things as well as fixing parts that may come loose myself.
Alright, carpenter's tools check. Alrighty, we're just waiting for Rudol's roll now.
I'm gonna add my bosun's thing.
To yours or mine?
Mine.
Okay, so it'd be a D20 plus dex mod plus sailing die plus D6.
I'm also gonna add my flash of genius. To
Plus
this,
5.
'cause I want to do well.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, do I add a D4 to mine as well because I have the right? Or no?
No. Your intelligence modifier is already factored into
Okay.
that. Okay, cool. So that we have a total of 1, 2, 3 failures and 3 successes. So this will put us in the medium category for damage. Captain Svensson, do the honors. Roll me a 1d3.
1d3.
Yep, supplies, people, or the ship.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, nah, you shouldn't have told us.
The ship. Or I guess
The
I
ship
would
it
assume you
is.
just would. Yeah, there you go.
The ship it is. So, as this storm rages for the first day, the vessel gets pounded. At one point, the anchor, it doesn't snap, it just breaks off the thing that was tethering it, the sort of silt that it was buried in, and the ship begins to push towards the coastline. And eventually, the anchor will lock onto something else, but before that's happened, the back half of the ship impacts a stone, and the entire ship echoes by this horrific tearing sound. And Shaibon, roll me flat 2d10 plus 5. The ship takes 17 damage as the back half of the ship scrapes across this rock, tearing a great gash into the second deck and a little bit into the bottommost deck. And the carpentry crew begins to work aggressively. And as that is essentially 12 hours of the day is spent fighting the storm. Each one of you run ragged in your specific role. And the storm begins to abate. Not because the storm is ending, but because you guys are basically on the shoreline, and you can see the great bulk of the storm traveling back out in the direction of the Hammer's Fall. If you guys were in open ocean, it probably would just drag you right with you out to sea. But your anchor keeps you in place, and after 12 hours, the monster storm makes its way back out into the Hammer's Fall.
I'm gonna get a head start on like head counting.
Yes.
Let's figure out where the fuck we are.
Yeah, you get a head start on head counting, and you can figure out that no one on the crew is missing nor injured. You got quite lucky today. And if you'd like to figure out where you are, this has nothing to do with like traveling, but since you spent the whole day fighting the storm, Ben, roll me a navigator's check.
Yep. Then we'll do a little bit of navigating.
A little bit of
You know,
A
navigating.
little bit of stargazing.
Alrighty.
A little bit of I'm
Where's the
doing
warp
some
drive?
navigation.
You guys are
A little bit of
43 miles west of Mythos.
43 miles west of Mythos, and that's the Skyrim logo, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, we are not that far.
We got nowhere. We are like anywhere within this line right here.
Also did a coastline here.
Yeah. So. Like immediately to our
yeah.
north.
Yes, you
We're like-
smashed into rock, so it's like a couple hundred feet to your north.
Okay.
Yes,
Alright,
we're
so
like
then
we're
for the
like
next day, I would like to go quest.
West. Alrighty.
Well, we're
Well,
like right here, I assume. Let's see.
yeah. That whole second day is just spent surviving. And going into the third, Brew is horrified. Gert especially, the supernatural man himself, who believed that he can spare the ship basically the worst luck you could ever get. Go into the Hammer's Fall, boom, instantly get bitch slapped by a storm. So vibes are not good aboard the Defiance this day.
I will perhaps make a small speech to the crew,
Sure.
just commending all of their efforts in reducing the damage as much as possible, and maybe not saying outright, but definitely hinting at the fact that if we hadn't had the blessings we did, we might have been much more heavily damaged or even sunk by the immediate unexpected storm.
Yeah. Yeah, very
I
spooky
gotta
indeed.
fix that anchor.
Yeah, true. So I guess we'll go step 1, Captain. Are we going slow, normal, or fast?
We don't need a short rest for any reason, so I think we'll go.
The short rest would be to repair the ship. If
Oh.
you're gonna do it.
Yeah, we'll go slow then.
Alrighty, we are going slow speed. Then we'll get our navigation checks from Ben Amin. He's already declared our
Sorry,
intent to
give
go
me a
west.
second.
Yeah.
I'm cooking on something else right now
Yeah,
for
that's fine.
a minute.
Localizationism.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. You're welcome.
But no
I
thanks.
said it.
I don't know.
What did you say?
On the fan.
Localizationism is what it should be.
Cookalizationism. Cookalizationism.
Well, I heard you the first couple times.
that doesn't help. I'm still confused.
Yeah, sorry. I was just waiting for a response. I don't know why I was waiting for it to land for someone to be like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Of course. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, dude.
I was just
100%. You're so cool, bro. Yeah, that's one
What do you mean,
success. And with that, let's get our helmsman check from good old Captain Svensson. Your orders have been handed down from Kaheen. It's strong wind today with a light rain, so oh yeah, Jackson, there is a small upside to the storm. Yesterday, you consumed 1 grog, 1 ration, you gained 2 days of water.
Right.
I want the. It's not working again. God damn it!
Just Control C, Control V. You're gonna have to roll this like 50 times.
I
this
did.
campaign.
I did.
2 days of water, you said?
Uh oh.
3 days, yeah.
3.
Might be good to add on some people's
Add a
things
D6.
here. All right, I'll add a D6. Still probably good to. Well, let's see. Kaheen, can I get 2 D4s?
Yeah, I can spare those two.
Okay.
Wow. Are we
Plus
satisfied
5.
with what we have?
Plus 5 might be good, I think.
I can spend more.
Okay.
How often do you get that plus 5?
4 times a long rest. I already used 1, so 3 more.
I'll take another D4.
Insane. Actually insane. Like, genuinely, unbelievably bad luck. What do we
Yeah, I'll
call it?
take a 5.
15. Okay. Okay.
Oh, actually, sorry. What's the weather? What's the weather?
It is strong wind with light rain.
I think a 15 should be fine, right?
Alex, next moment. You
Famous
have
last
failed.
words.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say anything until you commit. So.
Yes, I'm committing. A 15 should be good.
All right. You start to go westward, and at about midday, you see a sort of protruding, bulging section of coastline, which, based on the topography of the Mid-Ocean coastline, has to be the little peninsula that Flamium is on. There's nothing else that it could be. And so you guys go along there for a couple of hours. You see the city of Flamium. You're just like, hey, and you go out into Hammer's Fall and lose sight of the city. You end the evening in darkness, surrounded by the sea. So that is the 3rd day crossing the Hammer's Fall. Dude, it's like that. Those
We
memes
haven't
where
even
it's like
haven't even
second
got to
day.
the actual Hammer's Fall yet.
Yeah, it's like those TikTok memes where it's like 2nd day in London, and they start becoming more British here. It's like 2nd day in the Hammer's Fall, just got pissed on by God. And just, yeah. All right, today.
They're in the Hammond's Fall and it's just crashing.
Yeah, it's just crashing. Yeah, we don't get any water this day, but we do consume 1 ration, 1 grog. Whew. A lot of rolls, guys. A lot of dice. A lot of things to track. But you spend the evening on the water. You haven't even you are still so shallow right now that your anchor can touch bottom. That's how close you are to the Mid-Ocean coastline. But we can go on to the next day. Step 1.
2 checks.
Oh, sorry. No. You guys traveled slowly, so I don't want to cuck you. You have travel actions. Here they are.
Repair.
Yeah. So the travel actions are: first mate can assist someone when they're doing a thing. The cook can roll a check to let someone heal. No one on the crew is injured, so it's not really relevant. Same with surgeon. So that just leaves us with the buttress the hull action. So, master carpenter, bosun's mate, and bosun, you have to pick which of the 3 of you is going to take this action. Because only 1 officer can do it per day.
Which action?
The buttress the hull, it's repair the ship.
Oh, I could do it.
Jim?
Oh, wouldn't the carpenter do it?
That would make the most sense to me.
Well, weirdly enough, I'm like 8 times a better carpenter than you.
Yeah, mechanically better, but do we want to do it mechanically, or like would Rudol be busy doing other things as the bosun?
One of the bosun's duties is to repair the ship if it's damaged as a part of his maintenance thing. So if you want, he can do this job. He's allowed to.
Yeah,
You
I
would be
mean,
assisting him, of
mechanically,
course,
just
but-
better. Yeah.
Okay, great. So the way it works is, Blake, you are just gonna roll a carpenter's tools check. That's it. And then if you want, the bosun's mate, Jackson, a master carpenter, Xander, can assist you, and you get an extra D4 for each one that assists you.
And
Yeah,
the
I'll have-
other our carpenters can't assist with the D4s.
They previously could, I believe, but I have altered this action, so they no longer can. Only officers can.
Okay.
So where's the damage?
Back of the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have both of them help me.
Great.
Well, I mean, does Shaban have carpenter's like skills proficiency?
Shaban is
I am
master
the carpenter.
No, not Shaban. I'm sorry,
Unios doesn't
Jackson's
need it. He's the
character.
bosun's mate. It doesn't matter. He just automatically is allowed to do this action.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'll have
carpenter's
both of
tools
them
check,
help me.
that's it. Just roll it. Oh, also, I misread that. If you succeed, they repair the ship more for helping you. They don't improve your roll.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, yeah. Roll carpenter's tools check. That is a pass, so now you repair the ship. So normally just 2d4, but you have your two homies helping you, so it's 4d4. Just to mix up who's rolling the dice. Unios, Jackson, roll me 4d4 for how much the ship is repaired by. 7. Not bad, not bad. That's about half the damage to the ship, and you consume 1 use of carpentry tools. Alrighty. So, wait.
Wait, we consume it? I thought we only
You do
consume
not.
it if
Only
it,
in
like,
combat
yeah.
you consume it. Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
I never,
Okay.
I never took one off. Did you, Eric?
I did, but I put it back.
Okay.
So that's all for that day. Lots of stress. And now we're gonna do the next day of travel that we were talking about. So, what direction are we going then? We've just passed Flamium.
We've just passed Flamium.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would continue to go west, I suppose.
Alrighty, Shrimple, cardinal directions, baby. Cool. Then
Simple as.
now let's get our 2 navigators rolls. Oh, Ethan,
Yep.
are we going slow, medium, or fast? There is still damage to the ship.
How much did we repair?
You repaired half the damage. There's still 10 points off the ship's health.
We'll do another slow day.
Okay, sounds good. Another slow day.
Nav.
Today is light wind and light rain, so
Oh,
it's
not
about
light.
the most dreary day imaginable. Alrighty. That is 2 passes. And we begin to travel west. But we do need a helmsman check from our little captain.
Yay.
Yay.
Smile.
If I had like a DM screen, which I should just have, I should have like the order of operations written down, and this thing happens, and this thing happens. There's so many steps.
That'll, I'm gonna say that'll do.
You think it's when he's good on light
DM's
wind
a
and light
vice
rain?
assistant at DM.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you'd be right. You guys
Yeah.
travel. I'll be honest
Yeah,
though,
shut the fuck up, Alex.
you guys travel slowly. There's barely any wind, and it's raining on you all day. So you don't get much ground cover, nor do you even get enough water to fill up your barrels a full day. So it's a bit of a tragic day. You could probably walk faster on foot than your boat is going right now. Yeah, but we do get to take officer actions. So I think we're just repairing the ship again, right? That's the only
Yeah.
one we want to do.
Probably.
Okay, cool. Then Blake roll carpenters. Alrighty, Xander, roll 4d4 for repairing the ship.
May I argue that if I were to use my Mage Hand's ability to Roguish Archetype Arcane Trickster,
Yeah,
you have an extra set of hands, could that qualify as an extra D4?
that's an awesome idea. And if you were rolling the carpenter's tools check, I would entertain it. But since you're just assisting, no.
Oh,
What if I use my mage hand?
But do you have the arcane trickster?
You don't
stuff
have
that
the
allows you to
arcane
use a
trickster.
tool?
Oh,
yeah, I have the Mage Hand Ledgerman as an Arcane Trickster rogue.
Le Gel de Main.
That is an awesome feat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's usually used for thieves' tools, but I'm not thieving much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the ship is almost fully repaired. We've moved our distance. I think all that's chill. 1 second. All right. Next day. Capitan.
Yep.
Tam. What are we doing?
Medium.
Medium. Okay, risky.
Yeah.
Risky. Let's see what weather looks like before we do anything. Strong wind, moderate rain. Could be a good day for us. Kaheen, what direction are we going?
Ways.
Ways. Cool. Let's get our 2 navigators checks.
Nav.
Mm-hmm.
Navi.
Navi. Alrighty. That would be 2 successes.
Wow.
So, with that, helmsman check from our Capitan.
I remember to mention it. Actually, I swear.
We'll see.
Okay, I'll take a D4 if you're willing, Kaheen.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm like doing great on those, so you can ask for as many as you need. And in fact, we actually like overflowed one, so.
I'll take 2 then.
Take 2 then.
All right, I'm happy with that.
All right.
20.
Today is a damn good day. You don't know how exactly far you're traveling because, you know, fog of war and all that, but man, you're going a clip. Your anchor can't touch the bottom. You're deep out in the Hammer's Fall. You still haven't seen any land in a while, but, you know, it is what it is. And I know we've been doing a lot of travel, but there is something that happens today that we need to go into. As you notice, we haven't been rolling random encounter checks. That's because it's not exactly random what you encounter at Hammer's Fall. There are some things that are almost guaranteed. So that evening, most of the crew is asleep. Rudol, snoring away. Happy little fella. Shaiban, obsessively fixing the last remaining little holes on the ship, but he doesn't have really time to really fix the damage, so he's just adding patches over patches over patches. Svensson, he's schnoozing, but Kaheen and Unios, the 2 of you are on night watch. Being on night watch when you're in such an open area, it gives you this sense of like, I think there's a word for this, vacilophobia, I think is the proper word. It's just the immensity of things, or like the depth around you. Anywhere you look, you just see black ocean. In the far distance, you see angry skies. And as you guys are here, you guys are on the back, where the back cannon is. And someone walks up the stairs. You can't quite make out their face. It's pretty dark up here. You're not wasting like tons of candlelight. And they say, "Where are we?"
I'm gonna make a flame to create some light, because I can do that with a cantrip.
Yeah, you see a man in a waterlogged uniform. There are cuts and scrapes that have torn the cloth in many, many places. And at the face, the voice sounded strange because the mouth has holes in it. The skin is pallid and rotted. One of the eyes has drooped out of the socket onto the upper cheekbone. And the single remaining eye looks at you, but it's sort of blurred over. This is a corpse.
Is it a corpse of one of our men?
It doesn't look familiar. His uniform looks vaguely militaristic, but not of any of the fashion you know.
Okay, well, good. Albatross beyond my comprehension. The Hammer's Fall, I say, kind of shivering.
What? He looks to the right, and as he does so, you can sort of see into the interior of his mouth, where a sea slug has taken up residence along the edge of his teeth. The Hammer's Fall. What of my ship?
What ship was that?
The Gallienus.
History check.
Anus check?
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
a history check. Dude, I love you, Xander. It vaguely sounds with ocean, but beyond that, no idea.
Bro had a galley, had a butt.
That's so funny, bro.
I'm gonna look over at Unios like you're seeing this shit too kind of look.
Yeah, I'll give it the same look.
You guys hear a voice
Yeah.
down from the deck. It's Philo. He says, "Hey, Kahane, bringing up some sausages. David is. Do you want any?"
Yes,
And,
but I'll come down and get them.
Okay. Yeah. He descends. Because of the angle, you realize that you guys are so far back, like where this cannon is. This corpse is so close to you that if they look up, they'll just see the back of someone's head. They'd probably assume it was either you or Unios. And this corpse seems to be looking out towards the ocean. It looks more confused than anything else, not even necessarily hostile.
Yeah.
And what of the war? Does it still rage?
Which war?
He seems confused, sort of disoriented.
Eric's, what's like the war that Methodosia's at right now?
The war on the plains.
The war on the plains. So
Yeah. What's the last war that they used a navy in though?
You don't know. They haven't fought a naval war in over 100 years.
Yeah, that's not good.
He, well, after he seems to get his bearings a little bit and say, "Against the rebel, the governor, the traitor."
Another history check.
Sure. No idea.
I'm just gonna say, we won.
We won. Yes, we won. Of course we won. I knew it was all the badgery. And then he just sort of fades.
Like out of existence.
Yep,
or like
out of
this phase?
existence.
Okay. Easy.
On.
And you hear, you know,
I'm gonna-
another voice from below. You can hear like the sizzling of sausages.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn to Unios and go, what in the fuck was that?
You're the magician. You should tell me.
Yeah, Alex, I'll roll an Arcana check here, but, you know, I'm not expecting much.
That's fair. You know, there are beliefs in certain rural communities that people who die with unfinished business stay. That's generally believed to be untrue. Almost all arcane knowledge disproves that, or else there would be undead fucking everywhere. So that's just not true. And yet, you have no other explanation for what you just experienced.
Yeah. And I think I finished his business, but I also don't know if that was true. That Miss Dojo won.
Does it
Mostly
matter?
because I don't know what war it was.
Yeah.
Guess
But does it-
not.
Yeah, I guess not.
Cool. Well,
How do we,
I guess I'll say to Unios, do we tell people about this, or will they think we're crazy?
You could tell the captain, but I don't think we should spread it around. It won't help morale to tell people that there's a... whatever that was.
I think Gert may have like an actual like ego death if you tell him that there's haunted spirits aboard your ship. He'll just be convinced that all this is fucking, that gods aren't real and just total existential crisis.
Don't tell Rudol or he'll make a deal with it.
Actually, based opinion.
That's so funny. Oh god. I think Benjamin died.
Benjamin?
I'm gonna take this personally in real life, Jackson. I don't.
Well, I assume Kaheen gives some reply.
Yeah.
Assume
And I'll mention that we
Yeah.
should be together when we tell the captain, just so we back each other up.
For now, though, in the short term, you can go down the steps and join Philo for some sausages. Oh, welcome back.
I'm still laughing at
Yeah, I wanted to say to Unios, because when he said don't offer it to Rudol.
Yeah.
Oh, you are funny and you understand. I'm very sorry that you cannot be my mate anymore, but I hope you understand why the captain and I see it as necessary.
I'm not happy with it, but I am, like you said, understand.
And for what it's worth, I don't see Rudol lasting very long, and I see it as a way for you to get promoted. If you're trained under him, then when he inevitably fucks up so bad that the crew throws him overboard, you are the bosun.
Ah, that is a nice way to think about it.
So you descend
Well-
the steps. Oh, sorry.
No, I'll go get a sausage.
Yeah, you descend the steps, and Philo is more than happy to welcome you down. You know, there's always that. I know I've harped on this a couple times, but I do truly find it fascinating how, you know, most people in human history are very kind and cordial. You know, Philo's a nice, kind guy, and yet you have also seen him, you know, aim a cannon to blow the shit out of people, or aim the ballista with the intent of pirating people and killing them all. And so he offers you a sausage that David Cook has delivered to the top deck.
I'm more concerned that he always that he poisoned the tea one time, so I'm usually kind of...
Yeah, I mean, he did do that while under a trance from a hag that Rudol made a deal with, so... yeah, so the evening passes...
Still means he's mentally weak.
Oh, there you go.
I would never have gotten trance.
The next day, step 1, are we going slow, medium, fast? Ethan.
Alex, it
Yes.
is... We're at the, Are we not at 4 hours? Am I misdoing my
we
time?
are, indeed. You gotta go? You gotta blast?
I mean, shit, man, I got work tomorrow.
That's fair. Well then.
Unless it's
no,
only
that's
gonna...
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We will end it there.
Yeah, it's fine.
No,
It's
as
fine.
in, he's right. We're not gonna finish the crossing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just pulling his leg.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, morning is beginning to rise. The Defiance is in the depths of the Hammer's Fall. All around, rain still falls. No landmarks as far as the eye can see. And when we next join the Defiance, they'll finish their crossing. And since we've been going west, should arrive off the coast of Galadrim, the jungle before us. So,
Should.
I mean, hey man, helmsman checks are wacky.
I've been doing okay
Yeah, that's
so
true.
far.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Hasta luego.
Bye.
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. We love you.
Comment why you like me.